RTE Player.
The Republic of Ireland are at home to Finland in the UEFA Nations League on Thursday night. We'll have coverage from 7. Now, it's a big day at the Aviva Stadium as Drogheda United face Derry City in the FAI Cup final.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
This season, the League of Ireland delivered the most exciting title race in years, at the end of which Shelbourne were crowned Premier Division champions. Well, on this, the biggest day in the domestic game, it's Drogheda United and Derry City who'll contest the Sports Direct FAI Cup final. The question is, which of them will walk away with this, the most recognisable trophy in Irish football?
This will come to Quinn. Oh, turn equaliser and a Foley. Here comes the delivery. Oh, he's gone for it. What a finish! Stuart goal takes history at that road. Oh, what a stunning goal! Liam Coyle has put Derry City in front. The delivery that is in. This is very dangerous. Here's a chance. O'Brien. That's it all over shooting. And a chance for Patterson. And Derry take the lead again. Bolger gets the 3 on it. Foley. But well won it. Drogheda stay. Duffy is going to have a goal again. An absolute screamer. They are heading to the Aviva. It's Drogheda United's cup. And the cup belongs to Derry City.
Drogheda United are still fighting hard for Premier Division survival, and that will be decided next Saturday. But this afternoon, the sole focus of these players must be the FAI Cup final, as Drogs try to win it for only the second time in their history. Derry City have a long and distinguished record in this competition, having won it 6 times since joining the League of Ireland in 1985. Today, they'll have to put the disappointment of missing out on the league title behind them and embrace the chance to claim some significant silverware at the end of what has been a long and testing season. It's the 2024 FAI Cup final, live from the Aviva Stadium on Lansdowne Road. Drogheda United taking on Derry City, kick-off at 3 o'clock. Big crowds, last-minute winners, extra time and penalties. If any big final has delivered in recent times, it's the FAI Cup final, and hopefully this year's decider will contribute another dramatic chapter to this competition's storied history. One way or another, I'm confident there'll be no shortage of chat from our panel of Gareth McGlynn, Alan Cawley and Graham Gartland. Cup final day, lads. I know we all absolutely love it. But first of all, Alan, wouldn't it be fitting if we got a really dramatic cup final to cap what has been an extraordinary League of Ireland season?
Yeah, it really has been extraordinary, Peter. Obviously, we've covered all the games and it's been so gripping right up until the end. And, of course, the brilliant finish that we had in the Brandywell last week. And now for the FAI Cup final, which is always an amazing occasion. But coming off the back of such a brilliant end to the season as well, I think it's set up lovely for both teams, both sets of supporters. There's never been more interest in the league. There's never been more eyes on the league. And it's absolutely fantastic that we can showcase it in such a fantastic stadium as well, Peter.
Yeah, it's a certainly magnificent setting, as always, for the cup final. Graham, you were in the Drogheda United side that won the 2005 Cup final. What did it mean to the club and indeed the town when they did win it?
It meant everything at the time. It was unbelievable. It was a fantastic achievement. Paul Doolan had come in and revitalised the club. Vincent Howie came in and he really invested in it, and it just took off around the town. It meant everything in terms for the likes of, like I said, Vincent Howie, who was in tears in the dressing room afterwards, but it was the catalyst to then go on for further success for the club. And it's great to see them back here, because a lot of people worked really hard to keep this club alive for days out like this today.
And Gareth, you have 2 cup winners' medals in your possession, and we know what the cup means to Derry City. And even when their league form was a little bit hit and miss this season, their cup form was remarkable. Why have Derry City such a strong association and a great success rate in the cup?
Yeah, even this year, I mean, Derry City haven't lost a game in the cup since Treaty and Kern scored a penalty, and that was in the semi-final last year. Haven't conceded a goal. They just love the cup. You see the crowds here. We saw it in 2022 when they brought the massive crowd to the capital, to the Aviva. We've seen it again this year. There's just a massive affiliation with the cup. And even when the League Cup, when that was here as well, we won it 5 times when I was a player. They just love the cup, whatever it is. Listen, the league's gone. We can't do anything about that. It's up to about Rory Higgins now and the team to come here tonight, put on a show, and hopefully win the cup. Yeah, it's a massive day for both clubs, needless to say. And the players will already know if they'll be starting or not today. So to does our Tony. So let's find out the team news now for the final.
Thanks very much indeed, Peter. Yes, and Drogheda are the designated home team here at the Aviva Stadium this afternoon, so them first. And it's the exact same team that beat Wexford, a narrow squeak in that one, but that beat Wexford in the semi-final. Luke Dennison in goal for them, of course. He was involved with Bowes here last year, but he's hoping to play a big part for Drogheda today. David Webster comes back into the side after the last game of the season against Dundalk. He'll be at centre-half alongside James Bolger, and Kane, who missed that Dundalk game as well, slots in at left back. Then it was a big question, would it be Shane Farrell or Luke Heeney to go alongside Ryan Brennan in the Drogheda midfield? Well, in fact, the nod has gone to Farrell, so he'll be hoping for a big game today as well. And up front, of course, the firepower of Douglas James Taylor and Franz Pierrot. They've been fantastic additions to the side, and they'll be hoping that they'll be the key to unlocking the Derry defence. Now, Derry will be raging hot favourites, you'd have to say, in this game. Shane McEleney, the 2 McElenys are back in the side. That's the big news, really. Shane McEleney alongside Mark Connolly in defence. Patrick McEleney, we reckon, will play in the 10 alongside Diallo and O'Reilly, with the wingers Duffy and McMullen and Danny Mullen up front. But it's the strength of the Derry bench that's really interesting as well. So Pat Hoban does make it onto the bench. We don't know in terms of how he's recovered from his injury as that much, but he is on the bench and can be sprung from the bench. So too is Whelan and the likes of Will Patching. So plenty of strength in depth if Derry needed on what's a perfect day for football here at Touchline.
Yeah, you got it right on there, Tony. It really is an absolutely magnificent day. Ideal conditions for football. We're delighted to be joined by Derry City manager Rory Higgins. Rory, good to see you. You've got a slightly different group of players than you had 2 years ago at the Aviva, but how beneficial is it for you having managed a cup-winning side already?
Listen, without a doubt, it's a major help. I think 6 of our starting team play again today, a few on the bench as well. So we do have some cup final experience, which is I think it's Patrick McEleney's 9th, which is an amazing achievement. So, no, listen, we have a good side on the pitch. We do have a few injuries in key areas, but we have a good enough team on the pitch. They go and try and win a game of football.
We always talk about how unique a cup final is. How does that affect the manager's preparations compared to regular league games, for instance?
To be honest, the only difference is you get a 9-day lead into the game rather than a 7-day, which maybe gives you an extra day on the pitch. Everything that we do is the same, and how we prepare for the opposition. The slight changes, I suppose, some school visits and loads of excitement around the town. So we all know Derry's a unique football city, and there's been a massive buzz over the last 9 days. So it's amazing to bring so many people together for one day. So I hope we can do them proud.
Yeah, how good does it feel in the dressing room at the moment? You've won it twice as a player, so you know the ambience leading up to a cup final. What's the atmosphere in the dressing room like right now?
Really good. Listen, there's no disputing there's been a bit of disappointment, but you have to get over that quickly because of what's at stake here. So leading into a cup final, if you can't get excited for that, then forget about it. Amazing venue, amazing pitch. Credit to everybody involved, because there was a big game of rugby here on Friday night, and it's like an absolute snooker table, so no complaints from that end for sure.
And how impressed have you been defensively? I mean, haven't conceded a goal in the cup, not since the semi-final last year. How impressed were you? 2 years ago. and it's been in and out, like you've had to change it a couple of times.
No, listen, we don't get me wrong, you want continuity in your team, but we haven't been able to get that. But particularly in the cup, we've been knocked at times for not winning big games, but if you look at the games that we've won in the Cup, they've been extremely tough games, really, really tough one-off fixtures, and we've managed to come out victorious. So hopefully we can go one more. And I think if we can keep a clean sheet today, I think it gives us an unbelievable chance of winning the game with the talent that we have on the pitch.
Just on that as well, Rory, last week, obviously it was so disappointing. You mentioned there that the spirit is good and all, but how damaging do you think the league will coming into the game today, the league form and the way it ended?
Well, listen, there's no getting away. The last 2 months we had all our best performances have been in the Cup. So there was huge disappointment. With 2 games to go, we had it still in our own hands, and we're disappointed with how it finished. But you've got to get over that really, really quickly. There's a huge prize at stake here today, and I think we've prepared well. So, listen, I've no doubt the players can carry it through and put in a big performance. We've seen 2 years ago what we're capable of here. So anything close to that we'll be delighted with.
You've gone with Connolly and McEleney at the back. Is that just a combat? Obviously, Pierrot and Douglas James Taylor, considering how well they done against you up in United Park.
Well, that was the partnership 2 years ago. Shane played in the 2012 winning team. He was outstanding that day in this stadium. 2 years ago, he's outstanding in this stadium. So he gets the nod, and I think 2 good footballers who will use the pitch in possession, and they know their way around this place. So Shane gets the nod over Duncan today.
Okay, Rory, well, listen, many thanks for joining us pre-match, and the very best of luck to you this afternoon.
Gareth, try and stay neutral today, good man.
No, that's not going to happen. Okay, many thanks to Rory. We can now rejoin Tony, who's with another former Cup winner and our co-commentator for today's final, Stuart Byrne.
Thanks so much indeed, Peter. Yeah, I'm in the centre circle of the Aviva Stadium, and this is the area of the pitch that Stuart Byrne lorded over. This was your domain, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, tried my best, Tony, to be quite honest with you. Luckily enough to have very good players around me, but yeah, that's people talk about the game being won and lost in those positions, and I'd probably agree with that as well.
Let's stop here for a second, have a look at the pitch. Rory Higgins just mentioned the fact that a rugby game was played here on Friday night. You wouldn't think it to look at it?
No, it's stunning. I can't get over how firm it is actually underfoot. It's look, it's to the credit of the people that look after the pitch. It's stunning. It's actually in perfect condition. I was actually quite worried about it, but you couldn't ask for anything more.
One thing that always intrigues me, players say, and I've spoken to both camps in the lead-up, that this pitch is really big. Now, there's a minimum and a maximum of a football pitch. Is it that big? Is it a question of perception?
I think it is perception, yeah. I mean, the ground itself, it has that feeling of grandeur. The roof, I think the roof makes it feel a lot bigger than it actually is. But the pitch itself, no, I don't think so. I think it's the same dimensions. It just feels like it's bigger. And of course, there's a whole ceremony about the FAI Cup that makes everything feel bigger than what it is.
You had your glorious career, and it was glorious, Stuart, to be fair, but you never got to play here in the new Aviva Stadium. A bit jealous?
Yeah, actually, yeah. If it's one thing I'd look, I never got to play an FAI Cup final here. Wasn't here at the time. Now that I've been coming here and working on the programme, and this is now the settled home of the FAI Cup final, and it has become a huge part of the football calendar. And I certainly would be envious. Those players, I mean, they've got so much to look forward to, and this is as good as it gets for them.
You were involved with Longford against Bohemians, who were at the raging hot favourites that year as well. What will it be like for Drogheda, who are up against the Derry side, who are raging hot favourites?
I think it'll be a similar thing. I mean, dealing with the whole ceremony of the FAI Cup final is a huge thing. Physically, mentally. The whole build-up, you come out onto the pitch, you see in the bus and you come up with all the crowd and the people that are involved here. You really do have to try and contain yourself, focus on the game. I personally feel we didn't do that when we played, so that was a big regret from our point of view, so no regrets, Tony.
No regrets. Well, we're on the pitch. We're going to take a step off over the white line and hand back to you, Peter.
Thank you very much indeed, Tony. And there you see the mutual respect between both managers, Kevin Doherty and Rory Higgins. And right now, Kevin Doherty has come to our presentation position. Kevin, good to see you. 3 league winners' medals during your career as a player with Shells. Unfortunately, you missed out on a cup winners' medal. I didn't really want to remind you of that. But coming back here as a cup final manager, that must be very special for you.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And it is strange. Like you said, you a lot of success in the league, but never really did end with Sheldon. He played in the cup final with Longford in 07, and look, it was in the RDS. I think this place was being done up, and a completely different occasion. There was probably won't be less than half the crowd. The weather was awful, so look, as I said, we're delighted to be here. But as I said, we have to go out now and make sure that we do what we know we're capable of.
What has the build-up been like for you this week?
It's been brilliant, and it's probably, for us, in fairness, it's probably been more than a week, because we knew we were in the playoff final, we knew we were in the cup final 3 weeks ago, really. So have used the last couple of games for preparation, and obviously lads with little knocks and a couple of injuries as well that came back, and then it also gave us time to give lads minutes that hadn't played loads because they might be required today. So it did give us that chance, and lucky enough now we have a fully fit squad, bar Zimbabwe, who's been out long term, so it's gone really, really well. So
you did tailor it differently, the fact that you have the playoff final next Saturday. Do you have to tailor things a little differently?
Well, look, it's obviously, of course, we've done a lot of preparation for that, the staff beforehand, obviously, like, you know, but players had to, for the last few days, had to be just focused on this match. Never mind the cup final there, you're playing against a really, really good side in Derry, who have all the experience in the world, and a lot of people are players that have been here before and won it. So we just had to prepare for this match, and come the end of the game tonight, then it's all about the playoff.
I know you know this, that part of the narrative in the build-up to this final and part of the commentary was about how the bigger pitch here at the Aviva Stadium would suit Derry City, but you've had some good results on big pitches this season.
We have, yeah, and look, we were here last week. We were out in Abbottstown training during the week as well. It was obviously, like, you know, really the same dimensions and stuff. And I don't know, it's not just me, it's the players as well. When we walked in, felt very calm, like, you know, walking the pitch genuinely, and it's not just trying to put on an act or anything. They felt really, really calm because preparation's done. Like, you know, so we're coming up against a really, really good side, and I do think we're as prepared as we can be.
I've spent a fair bit of time with you over the years, but you actually look very relaxed.
Yeah,
just on the team, right, Kevin, you're looking, all the debate and discussion Peter's on about the narrative around the pitch. With the midfield area, we were suggesting maybe Luke Heeney might play a bit of legs and energy, but he misses out. You've gone with the football lads, technical players in there. What was the thinking behind that, I suppose? Yeah,
it was a really big decision that I had to make, because Luke's been arguably our player of the year as well, but I did feel, and it's not just an easy way. This is the team that played against Derry and beat them a couple of weeks ago. And as I said, that sounds very black and white. It's not the only reason we did it. Yet the surface, the pitch, the dimensions, everything comes into that. We had it's the same team as well that beat Bowes and Dalymount, which isn't a small pitch either. And those lads have been in excellent form. It was only, as I said, the last couple of games. I mean, if you looked at our form the last couple of games, we lost one, draw one, but as I said, we were preparing for the cup final. But before that, with more or less that team, we were sort of, and Luke obviously involved as well, and Adam Foley. I think we'd lost one out of 13 games. So, but they're very much, as I said, I've asked by John Kenny there doing the radio, like, I mean, about the game going, who go 100. We're going to need everyone, and you mentioned Luke Heeney, like, his energy level, they're absolutely fantastic. He came on in the game against Derry in our place as well, and really affected it and did really well. Like he did in the semi-final, he came on and arguably say himself and Adam Foley changed it when they come on.
Last summer you lost a lot of key players, Freddie Draper in particular. This summer you've had Douglas James Taylor, Bolger, Dennison in goal. You've added a lot of quality and you've really kicked on. How have them players helped, particularly Douglas James Taylor, and with his pace and power on this pitch?
Yeah, absolutely, and Shane Farrell in coming in there, Alicia Ahui came back to us as well, which was massive. But it's affected us in so many. Even with the system and the shape and stuff like that, all you ever hear, I mean, anytime anybody talks about us, is the front two are a handful. I'm sure it's probably been said here already today, but like, and that's not just them two. It's the way we play behind it.
System as well. You went to 3-5-2.
We did, yeah. But and again, look, systems only do so much. The lads have to go and carry out the plan or whatever it is. But we do have, as I said, you have the likes of Adam Foley, Warren Davis have come on. Semi-final, Adam Foley came on and scored the 2 goals that won it. But the two boys have struck up a really, really good partnership together, and they've been excellent. And it certainly gives teams something to think of.
And Kevin, just since June there up in the Brandywell, that game, since then you've been in incredible form. I mean, what has the change? Was it a change in formation? Was it the players coming in? I mean, the momentum now that you've got coming into this final, it's impressive.
Yeah, and that's why, as I said, the last couple of results probably takes away from the form, if you like, but not momentum or anything, because of preparation, because the lads were in really, really good form. So it's funny, I obviously look back at that game over the last while, this sounds mad. We'd a goal disallowed to go 2-2, which was big, and then Fran got sent off, and the game just went a bit mad. We were actually creating a lot of chances in that game as well. Obviously, you certainly don't want to be losing any game at all, never mind 5-1. But since that, and after the Dundalk game in the league, when we went and on the start of this journey, won in the cup, that was the start of it.
And then the 2-1 win at home, the Derry, you could have won that 3 or 4-1. You were that good on the night.
Yeah, we played very well. Yeah, we did play very well, and we probably had another chance. But look, it's going to be a completely different game. They're an excellent side with a brilliant manager that, as I said, you don't have to go back too far to when they won here and won here convincingly. So they're going to be well prepared as well. But as I said, we have to just really carry out, do the basics well, don't give away anything stupid, try and it's another cliche, but just play the game. Like, and the occasion is here, and we embrace that, and like, there's no point in hiding away from. Even I spoke to the players about like nerves and it's all right, it's the FAI Cup final, of course there's going to be a little bit of that, so just go out, but it's not a case of just go out and have a great time, lads. We want to go and win the match, and I truly believe we can.
Well, Kevin, you certainly have a very big afternoon ahead of you. We hope you enjoy it, and the very best of luck to Drogheda.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks for joining us.
Boys.
Kevin Doherty, Drogheda United manager. Now the two clubs have had very different paths to today's final, but both have positives to draw on. Derry City haven't conceded a single goal on their way to the final, while Drogheda United have hit the net 18 times on their way through the rounds. Our countdown to kick-off continues.
This will come to Quinn. Oh, turned into the equaliser, and Foley. That's the delivery. Oh, he's gone for it. Duffy delivery, the header's in. Duffy, he's going to have a go again. An absolute screamer. Sure gets the flick on, and Foley might well have won it. They are heading to the Aviva.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
This is Science Week 2024 on RTE.
We're going to imagine this place as it could be 25 years from now.
Conservation and biodiversity, the future of technology, we'll be exploring it all.
We are 3D printing Ireland's first ever social housing project.
Join me and my family on our Skellig Island adventures.
The most creative minds are battling it out to save our planet.
All this and much more across TV, radio and online. Science Week 2024 on RTE.
Lenore Unstoppables. There it is, the whoosh of freshness. Just chuck those little scent boosters into every wash for a whoosh of fresh that lasts and lasts. What a whoosh. And those socks, yes, still whooshingly fresh. Even at the end of the day, they're still enjoying that fresh whoosh. Lenore Unstoppables, the non-stop whoosh of fresh.
DFS Autumn Savings will get you ready for hosting season. For casual get-togethers, try the Orca at €1,039. Or the Lawson, delivered in 14 days. And our exclusive House Beautiful Ada now has €270 off. Hurry, these savings end Tuesday. DFS. What's your thing?
Baileys.
Now available, deliciously indulgent Baileys chocolate.
Hi guys! My skin was as patchy as a world map before I found my ultimate routine for even skin tone and dark spots. Step 1, Luminous 630 Serum improved the evenness of my skin tone. Step 2, the Day Fluid with SPF 50 helped prevent dark spots. Nivea Luminous 630. Skin is for owning it, Nivea is for skin.
When my hair shines, I feel powerful. New LV Glycolic Gloss. Our first at-home glossing treatment with glycolic acid complex. 78% of women agreed. Get the shiniest hair of your life. Shine so good you won't believe you got it at home. You're worth that gloss. New Glycolic Gloss by L'Oréal Paris.
Elftown is now coming to the RDS and Galway Racecourse. Tickets starting at $19.95 per adult and $29.95 per child. See elftown.ie.
Are you communicating well?
He still won't answer my calls.
Hey, that's not fair. Oh, well, if that's for me, I'm not in.
It's me.
Okay.
Looking for an insurer who wants to talk to you? Call Outsurance for a competitive car and home quote.
Air. This is Ireland's network, with Ireland's most reliable broadband speeds. For all the moments we share, for all the worlds we create, and for all the games we play. Experience Ireland's most reliable broadband speeds with Air Fibre Broadband and get €50 off your bill. Go in store or visit air.ie. Air. For all.
No. Yes. Can I get the butter?
No.
Enjoy real savings this week at Super Value. Like selected large pack meats now €5. Chateauneuf de Pop only €15. Scan your card or app and get Jacob's Afternoon Tea Biscuit Tin now €8. And Purcell Selected Range now 2 for €16. Make real savings every week at Super Value.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
RTE Sport want to give you the chance to boost your bank balance by winning €3,000 to spend as you please. You could take in the game of your choice and support your favourite team, or spend a lot on a 77-inch TV and laptop to watch all of RTE Sport's coverage in style and on the go. For your chance to win, answer this question. Which of these is the current manager of the Republic of Ireland Women's Senior International Team? Is it Eileen Gleeson or Serena Wiegman? To enter, text the word GOAL followed by your answer and name to 57886. Each text entry will cost €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on December 13th. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
Well, Cup Final Day really has become a very special day on the Irish footballing calendar. For spectators, young and old, making their way to the Aviva, and of course they'll be all arriving in fairly optimistic mood. And you never know, maybe Daddy number 12 may get a run out this afternoon as well. Well, this is Drogheda's 5th appearance in an FAI Cup final, their most recent being in 2013 when they lost 3-2 to Sligo Rovers. Ryan Brennan was on the score sheet that day for Drogs, and he's in the claret and blue once again today. And each one of his 3 footballing brothers, I'm sure, will be willing him on to a Cup winners' medal today.
Growing up, my dad and my mum played when they were kids, and my dad was always known around the town for being a decent footballer, I suppose, and for us, obviously, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, I suppose. Killian got the bug at an early age, and I think most of the rest of us then kind of always looked up to Killian when he went away to England as a young lad, and he always kind of wanted to replicate what he'd done in his career. So for us, the competitive nature in the house and kicking lumps out of each other, as you'd say, obviously having brothers, elderly brothers that I've looked up to and played football with, yeah, I suppose it's that hunger and desire of wanting to do well, I suppose, and I think that was first and foremost for us as a family.
Today at Lansdowne Road, the colour is claret and blue. Drogheda United have won their very first trophy after 42 years of trying.
Brilliant for the town. I remember the crowds, the boys coming back with the trophy. It was phenomenal, just the sense of kind of community and just a crowd you'd never see here before. It was extraordinary, to be fair, and hopefully we can replicate that now come the weekend. 2 massive games obviously coming up for the club. For us, it's a massive achievement to get to any cup final, I suppose, and for the only part-time team in the league. Makes it even that bit sweeter, and obviously being from the town as well, it's an exciting kind of build up to it. The bigger picture is staying in the Premier Division, you know. year in, year out. It's growing, and you want to be in amongst the pile of clubs going the right direction of being full time, and you want Drogheda kind of joining in that as well. So obviously, it would be brilliant to come away with a cup medal at the end of it also, but bigger picture for the club massively is staying in the Premier Division this year.
Michael Duffy has lit up this semi-final. 2 outstanding goals.
Just strength and depth in every position, and if a good lad comes out, there's a good lad to go straight back in. So very solid Derry team. We're unlucky throughout the season, and they'll definitely be smelling blood come Sunday. There's no reason for us to be nervous. I think the nerves should be gone. We're going in as underdogs. We're not expected to win the trophy, but we're going to kind of give everything that we have, you know.
Yes, Graham, I was just thinking, Ryan Brennan, he comes from a fine footballing family. It must have been great fun growing up in his house.
Yeah, I played with 2 of them and against 2 of them throughout the years, but what a family. And like you said, the medal haul that family has had. And Gavin's trying to, for a local team, a local lad, he's trying to etch himself into Drogheda United's history here today.
Yeah, and when you think of it, Alan, for the club, it's absolutely massive because, I mean, Derry are well decorated as a football club since they came into the league. Drogheda United, just 1 Premier Division title, just 1 FAI Cup. If they were to add a second, it'd be very significant for the club, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter, because I think the importance of these occasions can mean so much, not just to the football club, but the community as well, as you say. And certainly a small town like Drogheda, it's absolutely brilliant for them and the sense of pride amongst the people here today. And that's what Ryan spoke about even in the interview there. I thought he spoke really, really well. Very experienced player, Peter, been around the league a long time, and he's a very, very good player as well, and they'll be dependent on him today because he's one of those senior players that's played in a cup final. There's a lot of lads here, it's probably the biggest day of their career, haven't really featured in too many big games. That's no disrespect to them, that's just the way maybe their careers have panned out, but now they're in the biggest occasion of them all, and it's up to the likes of him and the senior players to rally around him, help them through the day, and I think he has a pivotal role because he's going to be playing in that deep lying midfield role as well, and using all his nous and his experience, Peter. Yeah, and that's the key, isn't it, Gareth? I mean, Ryan has a lot of experience and has played in the cup final before. That'll be important in the dressing room in the lead up to kick-off. But during the game, what will he contribute?
Yeah, we'll see a few clubs here now as well. He's got everything. He's a leader, he's vocal, and it's no coincidence. You see him here picking up second balls. He just gets it and gives it simple, and that's underrated in this team. You see him here, he's forward now, he's getting a header on goal. You won't see him as far forward today, especially within the first hour. It'll be up to him to command, to lead, to be vocal with Farrell and Markey beside him. They are more forward thinking, he'll just sit there. And it's no coincidence, since he's come into the team, he came in the cup game against Dundalk. They've played 13 games, it's 8 wins, 4 draws and 1 defeat, and he has been the catalyst for that. He is so important today. We will talk about the 2 strikers. They will be massively important. To me, he is the most important player today. He needs to really command the game, he needs to organise, and he needs to understand when to go forward and when to just sit down and get a breather and make sure that Derry play in front of him. They cannot get in behind him and go at the 5-man defence. He's got to keep everything in front of him.
He adapted his game, though, Gareth, to change it, because he was an attacking midfielder when he first came in that was scoring goals. Now he's become one that sits and just brings discipline to them, and he really protects the front of the back three as well. So in fairness, that shows a lot of game intelligence to be able to go from an attacking midfielder to someone who then is happy to sit behind the ball.
Well, back in June when they played in the Brandywell, he actually played up front. He was a false 9 and he dropped down there and he worked his socks off, and he's one of those players that he'll do anything,
and he's a manager's dream in that regard. When you can depend on someone like that, Peter, playing a variety of roles for you and know that you're getting a 7-8 out of 10 as well, so he's huge for Kevin. Okay, we've talked about some of the attacking aspects of Drogheda United, but what about in defence, Graham? Because they're going to have to deal with some pacey Derry City forwards.
This is the problem that I worry about a little bit with Drogheda, is the pace. Originally, Ahui caused them all sorts of trouble in the semi-final, and he just gets on the other side, but the recovery pace isn't there at times. So if and when they do get turned, the recovery isn't as strong as it should be, and then what happens is it leads to other chances. You see, comes onto it there, and Bolger can't get across, and another shot on target. This is where they're not set up to deal with. They're not set up to deal with the counter-attack, and they're a little bit unbalanced. And then all of a sudden they're in. Again, no threat on Boyd once he's in on goal. No recovery. No even hand on him to get to him. He runs away from them, and that's the worry on this big pitch, is that if they get caught high up the pitch, they can't recover and get back to put pressure on the finish. And that's where they need to be really vigilant, and the start positions need to be really sort of in tune with each other.
Now, the only thing with that, Peter, that's the game against Shelbourne. 2 or 3 of those are not playing today, and they won't be playing. So it will be the back 5, the back 3 that Kevin's been reliant on throughout the run of form. So I think they'll be okay, Graham, in that regard.
The back 3 in the semi-final was Ahui. My worry is with Duffy on that side, because Duffy caused all sorts of trouble in the semi-final. His record in the Cup has been phenomenal. But if he gets on the other side of Quinn he's the
big one, Duffy.
But what happens is you have him then, because he can open up the check, and if you don't buy the check, he just keeps running. So that's the channel that they really need to mind.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the Michael Duffy threat very shortly. But first of all, as far as Drogheda United's attacking prowess is concerned, they'll be looking for goals from Douglas James Taylor in particular, because he's been good since he arrived at the club, hasn't he?
Outstanding, Peter, yeah, and you're talking about what's the things that have changed in terms of the transformation. He's one of the main ones, because since he's come in, I think it's 12 goals in 18 appearances, 6 in the Cup, 6 in the league, and all of a sudden, when Kevin talked earlier about changing the formation, he went with 2 up front, and it's rare you see 2 boys up front now, 2 big, strong, physical boys as well, cause teams all sorts of problems, and I think centre-halves have had it easy for a long time, Peter, in the last recent modern football, if you like, playing Markey just 1 up front. Now all of a sudden teams have 2 to deal with, and these 2 are really, really lively and electric and strong and physical and powerful. And as much as Graham is right about maybe the defensive side of things with Drogheda, Derry's defence, it's not as if they're fast or quick, to be honest with you, Peter.
And we'll talk about that in a moment.
And I think these 2 will cause all sorts of problems for them.
OK, Alan, thanks for the moment. Well, one player who will relish the wide open spaces of the Aviva pitch is Michael Duffy. Undoubtedly one of Derry's key attacking players, not just because of his great ability, but his experience from previous cup finals will be beneficial in that City dressing room.
It was massively disappointing. Tough 2 weeks, really. You know, you're so close. When you look at it, you were 3 games away from doing a double, and then 2 games later you're 4th in the league, which is a bit mad. Just shows how mad the league was this year. But look, we can put it right this week. We have something to look forward to now. This is a special day for everyone, and hopefully we can go and make it right. I've seen both sides of it. I've had the highs from the cup and the lows. Look, I remember the ones, they were special days, you know, coming back to Dundalk with the cup. It was some very tough games as well. And the lows, like I've been on a few losses now, even with Derry as well. Before I went in 2014, we got bit by Pats as well. So look, you remember the losses as well. But we don't think like that. We just hopefully we can go and win now on Sunday. Oh, it's been a tough run. I've been to a few cup finals now with Dundalk as well, and this is probably the toughest route to the final I think I've been in, and we've done it in style really. If you look at the results, you know, we haven't conceded a goal, and playing St Pat's when Stephen took over, it's a very tough game. We put on a brilliant performance in the Brandywell. Cork was very tough down there. We rode our luck at times, but we dug in and got the one. The Shelbourne game was huge, you know, obviously playing league champions now, so that was brilliant for us. And then down in Davenport was a great night for us as well. Tough game, packed out down there is always tough. So I think we've done it in style. I think since mid-season they've been brilliant. They've signed, they've strengthened their squad, and they went on a great run. I think beating a lot of the top sides and taking points off the top sides, and we were one of them. You know, that was a big night when they beat us down there. You know, when we obviously were going for the league and stuff, so that dampened us. But they'll be excited for it. Their squad's a lot stronger. I know they have that playoff after, but I think all eyes will be on this cup final really for them now. And I would say the excitement down there is massive as well. Look, I'll never forget the Dundalk ones. But just coming back to my hometown, and the main goal is to come back and win trophies. I had a tough year that year. You know, we break my leg and I missed a lot of games, but I managed to get myself fit and play in the cup final and lift the trophy. And obviously my wee man on the pitch and stuff with me, and seeing the pictures and all after that, great memory. So I think that one probably stands out for me. So hopefully we can do the same again, and hopefully coming back up the road to the trophy.
Well, I'm sure Derry City supporters will be hoping that Michael Duffy will be at his talented best here at the Aviva this afternoon in the Cup final. And Graham, I was just thinking, during your career as a defender, how would you fancy facing a player like Michael Duffy, and how would you have coped with him?
Especially
you'd struggle.
No, stop. Especially on that side. because you know he has that check, but you have to show him the line. You have to make him go and use his left foot more often than not. Do not let him back inside the pitch, because once he comes back inside the pitch, he can cut little passes. Or you've seen the goal against Derry where he just opens it up and bends onto the far side. So you always keep him on the far side of the pitch and away from your goal as much as possible.
Yeah, and of course he's not the only one with vast cup final experience. I was just thinking there during the VT, a player like Patrick McEleney, for instance, I think this is his 9th cup final, an extraordinary achievement. Again, a richly talented footballer, and this is the sort of stage where he can strive once again because he has done it before in the cup final.
This is his 7th cup final. We saw there in the VC, he set up one of the goals and he won the penalty for the other goal. He is unbelievable. You've seen his 2 goals at Dailymount, one into the top corner, a free kick, the other one he checked back, beat 3 players and put it into the corner. He is massively important. But you know the nice thing about him, Peter, he is so humble. He's the hardest working player in that Derry City squad. He's local and he's vastly important. He's the best, he's the most fittest player, he's in early and he's leaving late, and that's what you love about him. We talked about the Brennans, we need the McEleneys, the Duffys now, the local players. The fans connect with them, the community connects with them, and it's so important.
Yeah, it's great to have local players involved, isn't it, Alan? But Michael Duffy is a special talent.
He's absolutely outstanding, Peter. Probably one of my favourites in the league over a long period of time. And you look at the ability he has here. Just goes on the left, on the outside, and that's the ability that he has. He's obviously so strong cutting in on his good right foot, but he can go on the outside as well and cut. This is a lovely little cut back to Hoban, gets a shot off. But this is the beauty of him, this next clip, Peter. This is him coming inside, driving at the back 4, and this is a brilliant effort in the semi-final, and he was the driving force in that semi-final on top of the goals. Look at the quality from this set piece, absolutely unbelievable free kick. And then he gets a bit fortunate with the bump of the ball here, but again he's driving inside, Peter, onto a strong right foot and has an unbelievable shot. And we've seen him score goals like that over a number of years with Dundalk as well. He was one of Dundalk's best players, and I love what Garrett said about him, because Garrett would obviously know him a lot better than we would. I know him a little bit, but to be so good and so humble, Peter, and good things happen to good people, and I love hearing those stories about the likes of him. He will be so important today, and Drogheda will really have to keep an eye on him.
He was the main difference in the semi-final, because Bowes were a bit bitty. He didn't move the ball well, but he just brought 2 moments of quality that opened up the game for them. It really did, and me and Garrett done the game. I know Garrett was seen jumping around with them afterwards, but he was the difference that day, and he probably hopes to be the difference today.
Another player you've been impressed with at the Brandywell, particularly this season, has been Danny Mullen, Garrett.
Yeah, very good player. When he came into the club with Pat Hoban in front of him, you thought, oh, is he going to get enough time? You see it there. That's what he's really good at. Defensively in that position, he wins ball. Look at this for an over. It's just, it's incredible awareness. Now, it looks like nothing, but has he not done that, this goal never happens. He's very versatile. He can go left, he can go right, he can score goals with his head. We'll see this now as well, running behind. He's got a bit of pace, and he's very robust. He's a small guy, but he gets up, and this is what I love. He's a poacher as well. That's one chance. You'll see him here now scoring a goal. It's a tap-in straight across the box. That's where you want your strikers, just tapping on those. That looks easy. Trust me, that's not easy. And we'll see him now here, aerial. He gets up. For a small guy, he gets up nice and high. He's strong in the air and hits a crossbar. But again, another player that is so important defensively, from the 10, from the 9, wherever he plays, and he drifts as well. He's not like Pat Hoban, who stays in between his 2 centre halves and gets you 14-15 goals, but he's been instrumental in the cup run so far this season.
Yeah, and it'll also be very interesting to see how all the players react under the pressure that the cup final unquestionably brings. But let's talk about Derry at the back, because we have some concerns maybe about a lack of pace in the Drogheda defence, but what about the Derry City defence?
Garrett touched on the fact that their record, but a lot of the times where the goals they concede, they're all very similar. Connolly, you see Green's pointing and Connolly steps in front. You can't gamble there as a centre-back, Peter. You really can't. You just got to hold your position. Again, there's the runners on the inside. They're not seeing danger. They're not opening their body. And a lack of recovery pace again. There's nobody in the screen when Aaron Green is scoring there. This is the one that really worries me. Again, you know Johnny Kenny wants into the space over your shoulder. The worst case scenario there is Johnny Kenny gets at the feet, and then you have runners from midfield, which is Dylan Watts pops up in the goal. All very similar. This is another one, big gap down the middle of the pitch. Wisdom doesn't tuck in. Connolly can't get across, and it's a shot on target. The recovery pace isn't there. Again, they need to be better positionally. And Connolly has a habit of jumping sometimes, and you see him trying to play offside there. Yeah. You can't jump as a defender. You just got to stay with runners, see the run, and match it.
But yet, Graham, in the cup, they've conceded no goals so far, and they've had a very difficult cup run, so they obviously can get it together at
Correct,
times.
yeah, and they'll have to get it together against that front two today, because you saw what happened up in Weavers Park. One ball down the side, goal. One ball through the middle, goal. And there's no pressure on the fella finishing it. That's the bit that I say.
That worries me though, Peter, because they're being labelled as a cup team. And you don't want to be labelled as a cup team, and that's what Derry City have, that label. This was the year to get over the line in the league, and they never got over the line. Everybody's saying challenge Shamrock Rovers. They haven't done it, Peter. And as much as they're a brilliant, brilliant club, and I've a lot of time for Derry City, and they have been successful in cups, you're right. They're a cup team, and I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. We were up doing the Sligo Rovers game. They let you down. Now they can pull it together, as you say, isolated games, a cup match, a one-off, and they've been brilliant in the cup. But over the course of the league, that's where they've let themselves down.
Yeah, but in fairness, they won't mind at the end of today if they're still a cup team and they're walking away with the FAI trophy after the final whistle blows. Now, while we greatly appreciate the opinions of our select panel, let's also hear from some of the supporters on both sides who are arriving at the Aviva in confident mood.
Derry are a good side. They'd be favourites going in, but you never know. After 2013, we deserve something. We were robbed last time, so.
We have every faith in the team to do well, so the whole city's down today, so there.
Even in Drogheda this morning, it's crazy.
I think we're going to end the season on a high.
You know what I mean? They're after their tails are down, so our tails are up. So I think we're very confident.
You hope for one. Obviously, hope for one. I'd say 2-1 Derry.
3-2 to Jordan. 3-2 after extra time. 4-3 in pens, Derry.
It's going to be a good day for Drogheda, and I hope it's a victory for the old town.
Both sets of fans have been fabulous so far. Anyway, it's been great.
Up Drogheda.
They've done it before, they'll do it again.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
A new 3-part series that envisions the future city of Athlone.
It's time for an upgrade. We're going to imagine this place as it could be 25 years from now.
Presented by Carla O'Brien and Dr. Lolly Mancy.
We're going to explore cutting-edge Irish science that could shape the daily lives for the residents of the city of the future.
Exploring housing, health, business and transport. This series shows how science can shape our future for the better. Futureville, Ireland. Tuesday at 7 on RTE1 and RTE Player.
I don't know, Dad. I've just been away from it for too long.
It'll be grand, love. Now, on your bike.
Just like our mammy.
Every connection counts. That's why Ireland can count on our network.
What's up, Barry?
Did you crochet them myself? I did, yeah. They're cute, aren't they?
Wow.
Too sweet.
Ah, Barry. This is Rockshore Apple Cider. Refreshingly not too sweet.
The wind has always been a part of who we are.
Sand in my sandwich.
For generations, we've worked with it.
There, John!
Run by the train out!
And against it. But this generation is different. We have it working for us. SSE Airtricity is harnessing our greatest natural resource, providing cleaner, renewable energy for homes and businesses across the country. SSE Airtricity. This is Generation Green.
All right, team, we've got less than 4 minutes before she gets her car insurance quotes. Brendan, you're up for the web chat if she wants assistance.
I wonder what kind of car she's going to get.
Focus, Brendan, focus. Brent, it's for you.
On it.
RedClick. Insurance that just clicks. Get an average of €225 off when you quote online.
Winter in Dublin. Where else can you get 3 whole months of unmissable crack, culture and events? Iconic sites and hidden gems. Top-class music, theatre, comedy and more. It's winter in Dublin. Where else? Plan your winter break now at visitdublin.com.
Join the air fryer revolution with Ninja. Compact single drawer, dual zone cooking, large capacity mega zone. And now the option to cook 4 foods at once with the new double stack. Cook your favourite foods with little to no oil and up to 75% faster than conventional ovens. Shop Ninja air fryers today.
This is how much chili double cheeseburger you get for €3.30. This is how much ice skating you get for €3.30.
I've only got 12s.
McDonald's Eurosaver menu. Actually get your money's worth.
What if you could send free chocolate in secret to someone special? Maybe that friend who always makes you laugh. Or just someone that needs a little lift. With Cadbury Secret Santa, you can send free chocolate secretly from a poster. Like this one, and this one. I'll be popping up all over the country. Look out for a poster near you.
Go wild with your perfect hybrid or electric Peugeot. And don't miss the fantastic offers at the Peugeot 251 sales event, now on at your local dealership.
Boss Bottled, our trilogy of intensity.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
Yeah, cup final day at the Aviva Stadium, and the atmosphere, as you can probably hear behind us, really is building to a crescendo now. The teams will be arriving out on the pitch very, very shortly. Gareth, I was just thinking, at this stage, the role of the manager today, it's not just about tactics, it's about having the players in the right frame of mind going into the final.
Yeah, and you almost need them relaxed. All week they've been sorting out tickets, doing media privileges. It needs to be relaxed when you get out there. Obviously, Derry were here 2 years ago. That will stand to them. That's why Shane's in the team now as well. A lot of them will understand what... On Drogheda on the other side, Kevin's got a massive job. Get them relaxed, play the occasion, and just treat it like any other game.
Yeah, Alan, you can just imagine the nervous energy in the dressing room at the moment as the players prepare to come out.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest concern I have for Drogheda, more so than the bigger pitch, because mentally that's so draining, Peter, as well, rather than the physical side of things, because they're all physically fit, there'll be no problems there, but just what it takes out of them, as you says, the thinking about it, they come and arriving on the bus, especially lads that are not used to this, but they'll never have a better chance, Peter. I think Drogheda have an unbelievable chance. Derry are coming in here fragile, vulnerable. After the loss, they were in a two-horse title race and they finished fourth, Peter. So the damage that has done to them psychologically must be absolutely huge. I know this is a one-off and you can kind of just forget about it, but it has to have a lasting impact. And I think the first 15 minutes are going to tell so much in terms of Drogheda's approach. Because if I was Kevin, I'd be going right after Derry, especially with them fragile and vulnerable at the moment.
OK, Derry City come in as favourites today, Graham. That's been the narrative right in the build-up to this cup final. Does it actually count on cup final day?
No, it's about your performance. That's what it's about. How selfless can you be for your team to get your team over the line, to do whatever it takes? You talked about preparation. You're selfish in your preparation to be selfless for your team. That's the whole point. And then it's going out perform. I loved it. I loved everything that went with it. But it gave you an extra energy, gave you an extra enthusiasm, but also gave you an extra focus, I felt, that going into the game. And I hope Drogheda to play on that, and I hope they go out and put on a performance.
OK, well, let's hope for a cracking cup final. And on commentary for you this afternoon, Des Curran and Stuart Byrne.
Thank you indeed, Peter. Firstly, we'll say what a glorious November afternoon we have for what is the biggest day in the domestic game, and an occasion that you'd have to say has grown so impressively in size and stature in recent years. We had a record crowd of almost 44,000 in last year for the meeting of Pats and Bows. No capital involvement this time around, Stewie, but you have to say that looking around us here, the fans from Drogheda United and Derry City have travelled in such significant numbers, and bolstered by the neutral support, we're looking at a possible crowd of 40,000 plus again today, which is exactly what these players deserve on a cup final day.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the kind of cup final kind of got its permanent home here in Lansdowne in the Aviva Stadium, it's just gone from strength to strength. I mean, the clubs have embraced it, the supporters have embraced it. Year on year, it's you know, first it was 25,000. Can we get over 30? We got over that, and now we're, you know, comfortably getting to the 40,000, which is a remarkable achievement. But no more than this league deserves, than these players deserve, because this is the marquee event of the season, and both teams deserve to be here.
Well, fantastic colour all around the ground. Arrived about 3 hours ahead of kick-off. There were so many supporters already milling about outside the Aviva Stadium. Two sides, of course, who've had a lot on their minds in terms of the end-of-season league run in, such a disappointing end to the campaign for Derry City. A title that on more than one occasion looked there for them, ultimately escaped their grasp. Drogheda still with a big job to do next week in the playoff against Bray Wanderers in Tala, but that's for another day. Today all about landing for them just a second FAI Cup, and were they to do so, it would come a full 19 years after their sole triumph to date in 2005. Derry City chasing a 7th cup success and a second in 3 years. The teams are walking to a fantastic noise, a fantastic ovation, and don't forget European football on the line for these two as well today.
Yeah, but the prize is huge, Des. I mean, you know, talk about Derry City being disappointment in the league. They've so much to lose, but yes, they've so much to gain. I mean, you don't become a bad team overnight. They've been fantastic for most of this season. We know what they're capable of doing. Yes, they're a wounded animal coming into this, but I think they're going to turn up today, especially when you look at the atmosphere this year. Drogheda United, absolutely, they're going to make it difficult for them. They're on a bit of a crest of the wave. Momentum is with them and how they're playing. All depends on how they can just deal with the whole ceremony of what we're looking at right now.
And these are the nervy moments, the pre-match formalities. The team's about to meet the FAI's Paul Cook, Philip O'Doherty of Derry City, Ben Boycott of Drogheda United. Down the line they will go. Big day for the mascots as well, of course, who get to walk onto the hallowed turf of the Aviva on Cup final day. We wonder how the week has been. All decked out in the suits, the tickets sorted, all that behind them now, all that stuff that kind of gets in the way, but at the same time is part and parcel of a day like today.
I'll tell you one thing, Des, the one thing you want to do when you come here is get that suit off quick, because as much as you have a bit of crap in the build-up, I mean, the suit thing would have been probably three weeks ago, all that kind of stuff, and all you want to do is just get that suit off. It becomes a little bit uncomfortable, but I have to say the players look very relaxed, and why not? You know, I mean, that's part of it as well. It's like you enjoy it, you enjoy the day. It's a very happy medium, a balance to how you really go about your business.
Well, the cup final returned here in 2010. Sligo Rovers beating Shamrock Rovers in what was the Kieran Kelly penalty shootout decider. Pats, Dundalk, Cork City, Shamrock Rovers, and of course Derry have all lifted the cup here since. Derry with that recent experience and winning experience. Drogheda came here last Sunday to familiarise themselves with the venue, the dressing room, the dimensions, the walkout. Came here at match time as well. All these little things can help.
Oh, absolutely, especially because the jump from the normal stadium we play in the league to this is night and day there, and so it's very important to just get yourself familiar with the surroundings.
The occasion you always want to play in, cup final day. Will it go the way of Derry City or Drogheda United? Let's bring in the teams then. Kevin Doherty perhaps with that one decision to make in his midfield three. Shane Farrell gets the nod alongside Ryan Brennan and Darragh Markey as Luke Heeney and captain Gary Deegan start on the bench. The mid-season tactical switches were to treat. The experienced Dave Webster anchoring that back three. And up top, Franz Pierrot and Douglas James Taylor. They've shared 24 goals this season. Half of James Taylor's 12 have come in this cup run. Pierrot injured in the semi-final, returned playing the first half last weekend against Dundalk. 3 goals and a red card for him in games against Derry City this season. photos being taken, the teams that they hope will adorn their home grounds as FAI Cup winning sides. Big day for our match officials as well. Rob Harvey takes charge for an FAI Cup final for the second time. He was here in 2020. That dramatic extra time affair when Dundalk beat Shamrock Rovers 4-2. Alan Lynch and Emmett Dinan will run the line. Paul Norton is our fourth official. Drogheda United win the toss, and Ryan Brennan will turn the teams around. Rory Higgins goes with 6, as he mentioned earlier, of the 11 that started the 22 Cup final win here against Shelbourne. The exceptions: Andre Wisdom, Sadhu Diallo, who missed out back then when suspended, Adam O'Reilly, Paul McMullen and Danny Mullen. Patrick McEleney fit and set to feature in his 8th FAI Cup final, injured for the 2019 loss to Shamrock Rovers, but 4 winners' medals, including in the last 3 finals he's played in. Ben Doherty, Cameron Dummigan and Daniel Kelly all sidelined and unavailable. Patrick Hoban is named on the bench. It's time for the pre-match huddles, the final words to be imparted by the captains, 2 experienced captains as well. Gary Deegan, as we said, is on the bench, so Ryan Brennan wears the armband here on the occasion of his 208th game for Drogheda across 3 spells now. And Patrick McEleney, well, since he's been involved in this league, he's played in the cup final more often than not. And that experience he will hope to bring to bear today, Stuart.
And he's performed as well, there's no doubt about it. Probably one of the league's most prestigious players over the last decade, even longer than that. Certainly has everything in his locker, has wonderful ability, has that sort of modest, commands respect. And interested to see Ryan Brennan winning the toss immediately shows to turn them around. Drogheda are going to play into their fans to our left. Might indicate they're going to try and get off to a very, very good start, or a very quick start, try and put Derry under a bit of pressure. Play, we're expecting a 3-5-2 situation for Drogheda, and Derry 4, probably 4-5-1. People talk about Michael Duffy, the winning of the game would be in him at that left-hand side, but Ahui quite impressed with him and his ability to get forward, so we'll give them a lot to think about.
Well, kick-off will not be at 3 o'clock. We've been down this road before as well. The smoke bombs, the flares. And just a word coming across the PA to tell everyone just to calm down a little bit so we can get underway. You could not ask for better playing conditions today. Unseasonably warm as it has been this month and last. A pitch in ideal condition, and huge credit to the ground staff for what they've done over the last 48 hours.
Quite surprised at actually how firm the pitch actually was. I think what we'll see, the ball will play really, really quickly. Obviously, need to Derry City if they can get their game going. It's quick enough. This is not what the players would have wanted, but of course a little bit of a time to set them down a little bit.
2 sets of players who've been raring to go, waiting for this moment all week.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please refrain from starting flares so we can start the game?
Rob Harvey has a little look around. I think he's happy now that we're on the cusp of that whistle to get us underway. Derry from left to right in this first half, yet to concede a goal in the FAI Cup this season. They've not conceded one since Enda Curran's penalty in the 2022 semi-final. And for Drogheda, people say they had the easier path. They had to show a bit of character when First Division Wexford really put it up to them at Weavers Park in that semi-final. Adam Foley, the late hero, with the winning goal, his second goal of the game off the bench when they lost Pierrot to injury after half an hour. In 2005, many of the Drogheda fans here today would have been here then. Are they set to get just their second cup final victory?
Looks like we're ready to go. Anyway, referee looks like he's about to pull the trigger here.
Here we go then. In the words of the managers, it's time to seize the day. A game that promises much, given 4 very eventful league meetings this season, producing 16 goals, a penalty scored, a penalty saved and a red card. Are we set to witness more drama ahead between these two in a game that has so much riding on it? Ronan Boyce Sends one over the top for the run of Mullen, who's offside. Rory Higgins in that position where he's had to lift his side to refocus his side to get eyes on this prize after what's gone on in the league in the closing weeks, but he's got plenty of cup final experience himself to draw on here. Kevin Doherty has spoken about being here as a spectator last year, looking on enviously as Pats and Bows played out another final in front of a huge crowd. As a player, he lost the 07 final with Longford alongside his assistant manager Dara Doyle. But it really is that impressive second half of the season, bolstered by that brilliant summer transfer window that will have them coming here with hopes high.
Straight away, from Drogheda's point of view, going to try and kill momentum as much as they possibly can, even on the goal kick from Dennison. The whole group of players just all huddled into probably 30 square metres or square yards, very, very tight together, just waiting on the goalkeeper to kick long. And you can see now taking his time, Drogheda to get themselves high up the pitch and try and frustrate Derry as much as they can. First 10-15 minutes.
Something you'll have to be aware of, Luke Dennison, is the constant activity, the constant movement of Paul McMullen. Nothing a lost cause for McMullen, who's played every game for Derry City this season. And with the Drogheda fans massed behind that goal away to our left, Pierrot's pressure yields a throw-in deep in Derry territory, and for the first time now, Conor Kane forward, a chance to hurl this one into the penalty area. Bolger forward from the back, Webster is there as well, and Quinn, all three centre halves in the penalty area. And we know where this is going. Hurled in, plenty of distance on that one as well. Important header, edge of his penalty area from Adam O'Reilly. This is picked up by Ryan Brennan, and now it's Ahui. Right back down the middle towards Pierrot, who was stretching every inch to get there. And had he taken that in, that might have been a lightning quick breakthrough goal for Drogheda.
Do you know what, Des, if he had to realise he had to just let it bounce, he would have been through on goal. The cover wasn't there. The guys spoke about it before the game, getting around on the defensive cover. Not for me there, just a long ball up top. You get themselves in 6s and 7s, no one available to go and head the ball away, but Pierrot, just if he had to just let it bounce maybe in front of him instead of trying to take it down. An early goal.
Bolger to Webster and back to Dennison. Luke Dennison sat on the bench unused for Bohemians last season. Third choice goalkeeper there this season. Played just a couple of league Leinster Senior Cup games before Kevin Doherty brought him in. Big addition he's been in that summer window.
Some early game nerves from Derry, not that you would expect that back four. When you look back earlier to the Conor Kane throw-in, the clearance from Boyce was hesitant under pressure from Pierrot. Just having a look now, even Connolly on the ball into McEleney, just getting themselves a little bit caught up early on long balls. Just need to settle themselves down.
Markey goes chasing Wisdom. Wisdom, who won an Austrian Cup on loan with Salzburg. Brian Maher. Connolly giving him that width. Pierrot across. Little ball shuffled inside by Connolly to O'Reilly. And now the first big switch. And the first time to see Duffy and Ahui in close attendance.
Yeah, it's clever. Shane Farrell getting himself into an area to be fouled. Long ball cross field. Ahui just heading it. It's McEleney with the arm up. Doesn't need to do it. A little bit silly. Got to be careful there, you know. Every time they give away little free kicks like that, Drogheda are going to kill the game as much as we possibly can. We're seeing it now, just taking their time. Dennison strolling out. Go long for the first 10-15 minutes. I do feel that 2 up top for Drogheda is going to really cause a lot of trouble for Derry, just even in the fact that the 2 lads with Hassel and Harry.
Flick on from James Taylor. Here is Pierrot, the front 2 combining, and Connolly got across in the nick of time for Derry City.
Once again, Pierrot getting in. Where's the cover? It's Connolly on the cover. He needs to get over much quicker and anticipate that. Look at Pierrot, just comes in behind him. Wonderful little time run, and the touch isn't too bad. Just can't get the strike away. That's a hell of a chance. You'd have to give credit to Connolly. Got himself around on the cover, but he's left that way too late. 5 yards off it.
Probably played 5 minutes, and we've already seen from Drogheda United the threat from the long throw-in, the threat from the ball over the top.
His responsibility as a centre half there is to anticipate that the Drogheda player is going to win. That's the second time we've seen Pierrot get in in behind them, and that anticipation isn't there at the moment. Maybe early game nerves, not too sure, but upper hands with Drogheda so far.
Drogheda line stepping up high. Dug out to Duffy, away by Ahui, the 20-year-old. The first half of last season on loan with Drogheda, the second half of this. Cup has been big for Drogheda, though. There were 10 winless for that Derby win against Dundalk. James Bolger in his debut and Warren Davis with the winner. And just kicked on from there. An impressive second half of the season. O'Reilly has got those legs to drive Derry forward. Good cover from James Bolger, though, from Boyle in County Roscommon. Much of his football spent in the US. Short spell in Sweden before he arrived in the summer. How well he's settled. McMullen. Brennan in with the tackle.
He's done well there, Bolger. You know, anticipated the break from midfield. O'Reilly getting himself in behind, and centre half's got to come out and see that danger.
Diallo holding off Pierrot to allow Connolly a little bit of time on it here. Here's Shane McEleney who gets the nod ahead of young Duncan Idahen, who's been starting towards the end of the season. Vastly experienced centre-back partnership for Derry. As Diallo looks to show his passing range, lands it on the instep of McMullen, backed up by Boyce. Mullen wants service, and it's heading in his direction. Duffy coming in off the left as well. Loose ball picked up by Wisdom. McEleney drags it with the studs away from Farrell and Markey. Diallo gets his chance today to walk out in the cup final. And it's Drogheda narrow defensively again. They look for the switch, Derry City. McEleney sweeps it across to Boyce. Further right, McMullen. Boyce wants it back and will drive to the end line. And just had a little bit too much work to do in the end, but a lively start as Derry look to the flanks.
Yeah, much better from Derry, utilising those long diagonal passes just to get themselves in behind the Drogheda lines. And Drogheda are certainly set up to be very compact, 5-4-1, getting plenty of numbers behind the ball, all very tight in that central area, but those long diagonal balls are getting them to better situations to get deliveries into the box. You might get a look at the earlier opportunity when you, as I saw mentioned, Duffy seemed to be coming on to it and just needed to give a shout to Mullen. Communication didn't come, but see now Drogheda is trying to compact this game as much as they possibly can.
The opening 8 minutes we've seen have offered us promise. Douglas James Taylor is onto that, saw his opportunity. Markey wants it. Pierrot to Markey. And that's what O'Reilly does so well. Derry have given it away again, though. Pierrot trying to find space to get a shot away. Ahui forward on that right-hand side. It's McEleney back defending and kicking an out ball for Michael Duffy. Those two go back a long, long way. Back to the first spell. Back in the 2010 and 2012 First Division and FAI Cup winning days.
Mullen won't want to see those last two passes again, will he? Put himself and his team in danger on 2 occasions in the space of 10 seconds or so. Just going to be a little more careful in their passing, Derry.
McEleney sat out the end of the season, I'm sure, just protecting him for what was coming here.
It's always been the case with Patrick, you know, that hamstring gives him trouble, has done for long periods, but
look at the room here for Ronan Boyce. McMullen's positioning is keeping Kane back, so Boyce has place to exploit. McMullen puts it in, but not his best effort and harmlessly behind.
Not a great couple of minutes for him. Be one situation with Conor Kane, you got to credit to Ryan Brennan over really, really quickly to give Kane some support. I think that might have been just enough to put McMullen off. A sloppy delivery in the end. Just signs from Derry that not quite hitting them. They certainly aren't hitting their strides, but a little bit of a nervousness about them. Decision making hasn't been fantastic, and the momentum of the game is quite stop-start at the moment. Doesn't suit them. Suits Drogheda down to the ground.
Kick out from Dennison, met by the head of McEleney. Kane Connolly there. And then Patrick McEleney for wisdom. Always happy if needed. Go back to Brian Maher, so comfortable with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, probably the best in the league, I'd say. There's some of his deliveries, his passing is fantastic. And the ball there certainly has in his locker as well. This is important for Derry.
Douglas James Taylor forcing Boyce back. Love those summer arrivals. James Taylor just offered that support to Pierrot, who'd been ploughing a lone furrow for much of the first half of the season, and the goals have flowed between the pair of them. Duffy facing up Ahui. Great tackle. Turned it to perfection, asked Duffy to make his move. He's plenty quick enough, Ahui. It's just that way that Michael Duffy can get you off balance, if he can handle that today.
He's certainly done his business there, didn't he? Ahui stood up, just made Michael Duffy maybe showing down the line, put it there, and I'm going to go and tackle it. Once he wins the tackle is fantastic. He just gets Drogheda going again.
Boyce seeing plenty of it in these early minutes. McEleney sips it out to Duffy. Farrell out to double up with the Ahui. McEleney. Diallo. Flips it out to Paul McMullen. Touch a little bit loose though, get Kane his chance.
It's excellent from Kane. Saw the ball coming across, took his time to, you know, close down that space. McMullen forced a mistake. And a couple of 4 times now, McMullen the sloppy with his touch or his delivery. Kane giving them plenty to think about there. Both full-backs for Drogheda, so far so good.
Duffy wanted that one as Wisdom advanced. Looking right across the line, Michael Duffy keeping himself onside. That's into the feet of Danny Mullen, breaks off him, picked up by Quinn and now Markey. Brennan rolls it to Farrell. He's had quite the season, Shane Farrell. First half of the season with Shelbourne, league winners. Now he's in a cup final and a relegation playoff next week. Bit of everything.
Yeah, here 2 years ago as well. Has that experience.
22 final. He was struggling with an injury going into it, and at half time. And what was a tough day for Shelbourne.
I'm sure he'll be to prove a point. Opportunity for him now to get a cup medal so soon as well, from having played in the final not too long ago.
Dave Webster at the age of 35 finally gets to play in a cup final. Brennan, lovely little shimmy, send Patrick McEleney away, picks it up again off Webster. Well, Brennan and Farrell getting some nice possession early on here.
What's interesting is that Derry not too keen maybe to push men forward too early, sitting back themselves here. Opportunity for maybe Drogheda to set themselves down, moment of possession for them.
Bolger backing himself and striding forward. Markey, perpetual motion, wins the throw-in off Boyce.
Yeah, it's excellent from Bolger stepping into the game, really important, because Kane and Markey, both those options were cut off. Looked like he was in a bit of trouble. Bolger really managed to get himself out of that bit of trouble, just stepping into the game.
Can be valuable as well, Stewie, can't it, when you're playing 3 at the back, to have centre-backs with that confidence to step in and make that extra number in there.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, especially when you've got one up front. Obviously Derry playing with that Mullen up front. Space should be there. McEleney is obviously doing the graft here on the right hand side, but when the opportunity presents itself, they have that free man, that free space.
Brennan has left that one short. Snaffled up by Duffy. Now Diallo, and McMullen has made a run on the right hand side again. Instead it's into O'Reilly, who's pounced on by a combination of Markey and James Taylor. Kane. The drive on the inside. Brennan, and now Bolger with time.
Drogheda just weren't able to capitalise on that, weren't they? Pick the pocket of O'Reilly, but too many players in defensive positions. They get themselves forward early enough.
Lovely ball that from Webster, and you can see Ahui wanted to use the strength of Pierrot. Intentions read by Shane McEleney, and Derry back on it.
Who we needed the front man Pierrot to get over quick enough there. Probably just wanted to play in the feet and get around, but McEleney saw the danger, getting himself in front. Momentum in the game is quite slow at the moment, isn't it? It's very much cat and mouse. You can see Derry, there's a bit of respect. Drogheda, well set up Drogheda, just trying to make Derry play around them at the moment. Maybe a little bit fear for Derry of the two earlier opportunities that Pierrot had gotten.
McEleney, who scored the winning goal amongst all his cup finals in 2018. Big player for the big occasion. O'Reilly, for the second time down this right channel, and for the second time Bolger defends it well. Kane. And Connolly will see it dead.
At the moment, Derry just lack maybe that central pivotal player that can get on the ball for them. Expect Diallo maybe to take on that responsibility as this game goes on, because Drogheda are very, very compact at the moment, trying to force Derry around them. Breaks from O'Reilly and McMullen maybe the only real options at the moment.
Duffy taking on Ahui again, who matches him stride for stride, and that's another psychological win for Alicia Ahui over there against Derry's arguably biggest threat.
Yeah, it's a 1v1 situation, isn't it? Ahui just stands him up and just backs his pace, say put it there and I'll block you. Duffy goes to the cross and he just does wonderfully well. Ahui, you can see the body language from Duffy, the reaction from him a little bit disappointed, knows he's got a game on his hand with Ahui.
Diallo looking to orchestrate the movement ahead of him. Mullen has to come back to Connolly. Big switch again out to Duffy. McEleney to McEleney.
It's a little bit too static for me in midfield Derry at the moment.
Wisdom, oh, looked for that one in behind for Danny Mullen and almost found it. Well intercepted by Webster. Here is Pierrot. He didn't feature since the Cup semi-final up to starting the last league game, playing the first 45 against Dundalk France Pierrot, but Dara Doyle telling me during the week he did train for 2 weeks. And as Kevin Doherty was mentioning, they knew their fate in terms of the playoff, they knew it was coming, so those last few league games were just used to mind a few players, give minutes to a few others. But the fact that he's fit and good to start here, along with Douglas James Taylor, big part of the Drogheda game plan.
Yeah, we're just looking back at that Pierrot free kick. Connolly just getting himself a little bit too tight. I mean, that's really starting to develop into a key battle in this game. Connolly, very physical player, and I think Pierrot likes it as well.
Webster sent it towards Pierrot. He's looking to back in. Connolly eyes on the ball all the way. O'Reilly. Bravely flicked on by Mullen. Advantage allowed by Rob Harvey. He's showing his pace again to get to Duffy quickly. Wisdom. McEleney, a bit of space to step into here, and a little ball towards Wisdom as well. He's offside on the cover. It's Andrew Quinn.
First time we've seen Wisdom trying to get in behind. See Ahui doing a very good job with Michael Duffy so far, so good for him. Probably not offside either if you have a look at the camera, but Quinn saw the danger.
He's had quite a career, Andre Wisdom. Born in Leeds, a youth player at Bradford before going on to Liverpool, where he made 22 senior appearances, scored his only goal in his debut. Some profitable loan spells, as we said, including in Salzburg. His last club before Derry, though, was in National League North. And Janet gone, Wisdom in. He's covered every position across that back four. On the other side here is Boyce. McMullan, quick feet. Drogheda buzzing about, and it's Markey to win it back.
Good from Drogheda on that particular occasion, just hunting the ball down, just not giving Derry any space whatsoever. and that's been a key part of the first 20 minutes or so. Drogheda really restricting any ability for Derry to kind of play to that central area. Working quite well so far.
Dennison towards that far side. Ahui wins his header. Here is Pierrot. Carries it with him. Diallo had to be strong there.
He's getting himself involved, Pierrot, maybe with a little bit of a scrap with Connolly. Felt on that occasion that once he's in front, he had possession of the ball, maybe just to offload, see the runner go past him, but Diallo just kind of dropping in, just nicked it from him, robbed him from behind. Look at the two central Derry City players, O'Reilly and Diallo. They need to be getting on the ball a little bit more, need to offer themselves up. All kind of going around at the moment. This is better.
McEleney had popped into a centre forward position, then back out to get Derry moving again. McMullen faced up by Kane. Boyce. There's O'Reilly there with an excellent from Markey again. Heralded for what he can do on the ball, Markey, but a couple of big defensive moments already, a couple of big tackles, putting the ball back in that midfield area.
Yeah, key for Drogheda is that when they do get the ball back, which they did wonderfully well from Markey on that occasion, that the possession is good. Just ran himself down a little bit of a cul-de-sac. Markey very, very tight little area to play the ball to Brennan, just overcooked it a little bit. At the moment, what we're seeing is that Drogheda doing the hard work stuff well, good shape on them, just restricting Derry from playing, but not offering too much going forward. A little bit of momentum probably gone out of their game at the moment. See this man starting to get himself on the ball much more, starting to take the game by the scruff of the neck.
Take and turn from Mullen, crunching challenge coming in from Webster. And a few words from Webster in the Scottish man's ear as he got back to his feet, just to let him know he's around.
No harm in that, Des. It's all part and parcel.
McEleney again, just that football intelligence to drift into those spaces where he can receive it. Duffy offside this time.
It's not happening for him at the moment, is it really? We felt that McEleney possibly delayed the pass to Duffy at the time. Maybe should have put it in behind for Duffy to run onto, gave it the feet. And Ahui's really tight to him at the moment. A little look back at the Webster tackle. Strong, making his presence known. It's a wonderful tackle.
Little problem here for Luke Dennison. You're looking at me, Stu.
Starting to see a lot of this in the game now, all right, yeah. But look, playing to the rules, an opportunity for managers to have a little word with each other. I wonder, will they do something to kind of stop this? But at the moment, not doing anything wrong.
Kevin Doherty, who I guess learned the Drogheda ropes as Tim Clancy's assistant manager before getting the top job 3 years ago, and year-on-year progression in this FAI Cup. A second-round loss to Shamrock Rovers, a quarter-final loss to Bows. Skipped a semi-final straight to a final this season. It's Paul Doolan who brought them to the Cup in 05. Outstanding team that was. The goals from Gavin Whelan and Declan Fabio O'Brien. I think I saw a cardboard cutout of the whole team down at the Drogheda end behind the goal a little earlier. If my eyes weren't deceiving me, someone's been busy.
Imagine the scissors it must have needed for that, Des. We've had a break. Obviously, both managers have had a chance to have a few words, and I imagine Kevin Doherty more so than Rory Higgins, but this is part of the game. This is effective so far for Drogheda.
No chances taken on the turn there by Shane McEleney, who just offers a hand. Maybe a little misreading of it initially. Now it's another long throw for Derry City to face. All three centre halves in the penalty area again. Here we go. Flatter trajectory this time. Wisdom gets his head in it. There's Markey deflected. And out for a corner, as close as we've come. Did Maher get a touch, or was it just the initial deflection? The replay will tell us.
I think Patrick McEleney got himself out of the cutter, so just gets something on it, doesn't he? I think Maher actually saves it as well. Obviously the throw-in comes in, it comes right out to Markey, gets his feet settled. You have to give huge credit to Patrick McEleney getting out to close the shot down, sees the danger. Big moment.
Sharp reactions on that deflection from Maher behind him. There's the corner towards the near post, headed away by Duffy. Piece is picked up by Markey. Farrell again. Little check. Here comes the delivery and the header from Quinn. But he climbed well above Diallo. Just couldn't keep it on target. Nice little spell that for Drogheda.
He's done well, Diallo. Just kind of a little nudge from him, just puts off Quinn. And wonderful little check from Shane Farrell. He gets the delivery away, and I think Quinn is just kind of going at that from a standing start. Can't really leverage enough power on it. And you'd have to say Diallo just not enough to kind of put him off. It would have been better maybe if it had been a shout from James Bolger, who was out free in behind them. Drogheda, after that little break they had, have suddenly come to life.
Boyce again, straight away with the intent to drive forward. Beautiful ball that from McMullen. Mullen's in the middle, doesn't reach him though. Webster's there. McMullen again, the flick, the save from Dennison. Oh, Danny Mullen, who's been brilliant in this cup run, almost found an improvised finish there.
Oh, this is fantastic from Derry City. McMullen makes the 9 for Boyce, gets in behind. It's a wonderful delivery, wonderful pace on it. Once it comes in, Webster gets himself into a really good area. But have a look at this for a nonsense little flick from Mullen. That's a fantastic effort. Really, really clever. The keeper's got to be really on his toes there as well, because he's not too sure what Mullen's going to do. Just gets himself across Dennison, just snuffs it out, but all of a sudden this cup final is kind of sparked into life.
Farrell in towards Pierrot. Douglas James Taylor looking to work off him. Diallo, Duffy and McEleney. Boyce, who's made an excellent start here. That was a fabulous ball.
I was just going to say that. It's just when Derry probably needed players to be a little bit, take a bit more risk in your passing. It's all a bit too predictive at the moment. We're nearly 30 minutes into this cup final. They need to start making things happen. We've seen Patrick McEleney maybe getting a little bit more on the ball. Maybe not enough for a player that has quality, but that delivery from Boyce and the movement from McMullen, that's the signs from Derry now. That's the danger that they pose.
Boyce into the feet of Diallo. Former Manchester City youngster keeps it moving. Onto McEleney and Duffy. Two drawn to him again. McEleney once more. Boyce in a central position. McEleney and Webster urging that Drogheda rearguard out as Derry retreat. Diallo.
Forward, he's trying to draw players out.
Mullen dropping a little deeper. McMullen. Mullen again. Wisdom. And Duffy. Ahui might have had the better of that so far, but Michael Duffy, you have to watch him for 90 minutes plus.
Opportunity McMullen when he delivers that second pass. Look at that wonderful little flick from Mullen. Great awareness from him. Obviously he's trying to get that into that far right hand corner. The goalkeeper does well to come across from a front post position and snuffs it out.
9 goals in his first full season, Danny Mullen. 2 big ones in the cup. On the flex microphone far side, take a battering as Markey ends up over the white line. Farrell forward, cushioned down by Connolly. Shane McEleney made his debut first time around for Derry City in 2009 against Drogheda.
I just feel there's Drogheda's point of view maybe not utilising that 2 up top so far. I mean, anytime they've attempted to get ball up to them to either Pierrot, James Taylor probably hasn't been the best quality, and 2 lads just not been able to get themselves into the game. I do feel from Drogheda's point of view, if they can get good quality ball up to either player, they can certainly cause enough trouble for Derry, but it's possibly a little bit too comfortable for Derry so far. Yes, Drogheda have done well to kind of maybe nullify Derry City, but from their own point of view, I think they can utilise the two lads up top a lot better than they have done so far.
Hold up play from Mullen, just pushes Wisdom a little wide here. Plenty of space out there to run into. Diallo advancing with purpose, slips it inside to McEleney, who's quick to turn back to Diallo again. Well, they worked it well. It was intricate in a tight area, but Dennison makes the save to deny Diallo.
It's a hell of a chance, isn't it? Diallo, wonderful, it'll end up being a 1-2 with Patrick McEleney. Just managed just to get it back to him. Wonderful feat from Patrick McEleney. That's a chance for Diallo, just kind of setting himself a little bit better. He bodies from Drogheda, just thrown himself. Might have been Shane Farrell, last minute tackle, probably just did enough to put Diallo off.
And look at Patrick McEleney's positioning so far, Stewie. When he came back for his second spell at Derry City, he was using almost a deep-lying playmaking role, but you see the advantage of having him in these more advanced areas. He's got that free roll to get into spaces. You can see what damage he can do.
That's his game there. His game is playing in that pocket because he's just so comfortable on the ball, has a very wonderful balance to him, and two good feet as well. Maybe as his career's gone on, probably sitting a little bit deeper as time sort of catches up in it a little bit, I suppose. But he's the one player for Derry because no one else is really doing it. Have a look where he is at the pitch. You would expect maybe Diallo should be doing that, but he's the one that's taking the game by the scruff of the neck, trying to get Derry going.
Here is Diallo. McEleney makes the run. Nice little weighted ball in to find him. Left-footed delivery around the back. Fabulous ball. And it's almost that old combination between Derry and Dundalk all those years together. Fabulous teasing ball in from McEleney, and Duffy's so close here.
Well, all about his ability to use left, right foot. Have a look at that for delivery with the left foot, and he's just tempting Michael Duffy to go after it, but you have to give huge credit to Ahui. He just gets himself in and it makes a nuisance of himself, almost puts Duffy off. It's a wonderful opportunity. Just throws the left leg at Duffy, doesn't, but the defender is just there to annoy him, just done enough.
Well, he had started Patrick McEleney like a player making up for lost time, and there has been plenty of that in recent seasons. It's just his 16th appearance this season, his 5th start. Such has been the injury upsets, and the elbow injury back against Waterford in the summer that cost him 12-odd games.
He'd be keen to make a huge impression on this cup final, no doubt about it, but the fact that he's the one getting on the ball in deeper central areas, and then he's ending up getting into advanced areas as he just did in that particular occasion, just got kind of show you from the captain's point of view, he's trying to get his team going here.
Pierrot on the move early, looking for a knockdown here from Bolger, who was offside. Brian Maher wasn't to know that. He produced a brilliant clawing save.
I'm just wondering why Maher actually doesn't come for this, because he hangs it up. Shane Farrell just a little bit offside. The linesman's done right. It's a hell of a header. Maher does a wonderful save. Just feel that he's got to come for that, maybe the goalkeeper, because it's in the air for a long time. But from Drogheda's point of view, how can Bolger be so free from something so mundane, just a straightforward ball into the box?
The last couple of minutes we've seen two exceptional deliveries. Open play, Patrick McEleney, set piece, Shane Farrell, and Bolger showing what a threat he is.
The game has lacked fluidity, but certainly the opportunities are starting to come for both sides, whether it be set pieces or just a little moment of brilliance.
Markey and Farrell racing to try and get out to Boyce. McMullen picked up by Diallo, striding on here. I just needed more pitch.
Yeah, it was the right ball, in fairness. McMullen, the 1-2, played it into Diallo and makes a really good run. We know he loves to make that run from an inside run, just overcooked by Diallo. Just needed to kind of feed it into that area. Plenty of space in behind, but obviously Drogheda taking huge advantage of this now, killing the game as much as they possibly can. A little look at the clock coming up on 35 minutes. That man in picture will be absolutely thrilled with how things have gone for this team so far. I think they've even grown in confidence as the game has gone on.
target here. James Taylor eating up the ground on McEleney. He kept his composure under pressure.
Andre Wisdom and Diallo are having a right pop at each other. Wisdom is obviously feeling that someone's got to go and head that. It's way too easy, especially from a goal kick. Free header for Ahui.
Markey. Ahui's done well under pressure, but he's lost out now to Diallo, and McEleney skips away from Farrell, just plays it behind Duffy and offers the hand of apology.
Do you know what was the first time as well that Ahui had got himself forward and Duffy had space in behind? And you do not expect Patrick McEleney and Duffy to get themselves in a twist like that. Obviously Duffy wanted it in behind, space to run into, and McEleney's just going to give a short, and they're going out for a sloppy try for Drogheda.
Pierrot not getting much change so far out of McEleney and Connolly. Here he is again though. And Derry City are going to have to be careful conceding these set pieces and throw-ins. The Drogheda have shown their threat in those areas already. The foot was a little reckless from Diallo.
Yeah, well, if you can lip read, you can see Diallo was just saying what for. Even a little bit harsh on Diallo maybe. Foot was certainly up, probably not dangerous. Maybe needed, just going to get a little bit more purchase on the ball. Referee might have let it go, but that doesn't happen. And as we've seen so far, Drogheda that look very dangerous with set pieces.
It's Farrell on it again, deep one around the back, and Quinn has scored! There is the breakthrough goal! It's Andrew Quinn. The underdogs bare their teeth and show their bite in this cup final. Drogheda United strike first. And it's come from a set piece, another Shane Farrell delivery, and Andrew Quinn, who threatened with the head earlier, has caressed that one in beyond Brian Maher. Drogheda United 1, Derry City 0.
Well, we've seen far too often in this game so far that the Derry City defenders have been 2, 3, 4 yards off some of the Drogheda players, and now this is all about the delivery into this area, and it's Connolly get themselves right in behind Webster, or Quinn, apologies, just steals a couple of yards, and Connolly can't get back Connolly. And that's a hell of a finish, but this is all about putting the ball into a good area and get yourself on the end of it. Connolly needs to do much better there. I'm not too sure what he's thinking, and he's furious with himself, but this is a hell of a finish from Andrew Quinn. Just going to find that tiny little area at front post.
It really is a hell of a finish in a cup final. That ball came a long way, tangling with the defender, eyes on it all the way, and made perfect contact to squeeze it in at that near post. For a centre half, that's already his 4th goal this season, scored in the 9-0 win against Wilton of the Munster Senior League in an earlier cup round, and a couple in the league. But they have shown that threat with those set pieces and long throw-ins, and they have taken advantage of one here.
Let's have a look at this again. I mean, everything was set up. Connolly, for some reason, eye on the ball, he's not looking at his man. Just a perfect example of ball watching. Very, very surprised at him for such an experienced defender. He has never seen Quinn whatsoever, not even looking at him, and he's just got to make sure he gets good connection on that, and there's very little place he can put that other than where he put it. Maher's scurrying across to try and get a hand on it, but there's good pace on the delivery, which means there's good pace on the finish. And if Kevin Doherty could have actually picked a way to maybe win this game, it would be to go 1-0 up front and put huge pressure on Derry now to see how they respond.
Well, that is a goal cheered to the echo by the Drogheda fans, packed in here by anyone who hasn't got a ticket back in Drogheda, and but Andrew Quinn's hometown of Dunshaughlin as well.
The game plan test, Drogheda has just gone perfect, hasn't it, really? I know Derry have had their opportunities, but when you think about Ryan Brennan winning the toss, turning them around, playing into the Drogheda end, and they've just kind of grown in confidence. Very good defensively and trying to stop Derry from playing. Ahui in particular has not let Michael Duffy get into this game whatsoever, and that has worked so far.
A setback for Derry City, who have been bruised psychologically, emotionally in these closing weeks of the season. Couldn't find the points needed to win what would have been the first league title since 1997. That will hang over them into the next campaign. Today they'll offer them that chance and still offers that chance to finish the season on a big high with a cup victory. But as they have done throughout this cup run, they're going to have to do it the hard way. The fixtures that they were handed, so tough from round to round. And now Drogheda United find themselves in front. Derry have to respond. 5 minutes to go in this first half. And a huge noise being made by the Drogheda United fans now.
And a huge 5 minutes for Drogheda, I'd have to say as well. They need to make sure now that they get themselves to half-time with this 1-0 lead. Really kind of lump pressure on Derry City. Got to be brave now, Derry. Got to see the big players coming out now, getting on the ball, make things happen. Huge test of their character.
McEleney is Drogheda, drop deep. Swung in by Duffy, tempting delivery, breaks off Bolger. O'Reilly's in there, causing havoc. Adam O'Reilly challenged for the initial ball and then for the loose one.
Well, Andrew Quinn, the goal scorer, has just made a wonderful defensive tackle on the recovery here. Once this ball comes into O'Reilly, I think he's missed that. He needs to do better, but when he comes up for seconds, it looks like he's going to bang this into the back of the net, but Quinn comes out of nowhere. Just does enough to put him off. And how we've seen this now 3 or 4 times from Drogheda players just being there, right place, right time defensively, just to put them off.
Still a long way to go, but sometimes cup finals throw up unlikely heroes. 2 huge moments late in the first half from Andrew Quinn. But now a corner to defend. Signal given by Michael Duffy. Shane McEleney towards the near post. It's short and back to Duffy. And now they look for McMullen. And it was ambitious. It would have been spectacular, but in the end it's well off target.
Yeah, I have to say that Diallo wasn't great for Michael Duffy. Markey making a nuisance of himself. He's got to really catch this right, McMullen. He's going to struggle. Dennison in that Drogheda United goal. So it would have to be the spectacular. Just look at the body language of the Derry City players, back turned to the game, just walking back. And I'm sure internally that man in the picture probably thinking, what has gone wrong? What do we need to do to catch a break? Sometimes you just have to do the obvious and let's just work a little bit harder and just try and scrap something out of this game.
Dennison gets us going again. Wisdom's header touched in field by Duffy. McEleney in bravely, and that was a fairly hefty collision between he and Ryan Brennan.
Yeah, Brennan just came in beside, ball up in the air. Tightened the gopher, might have hurt himself even more so. I'm not sure whether Patrick McEleney maybe got that in the shoulder. Looks in a lot of discomfort, and you see both players down. He's got the card out for somebody. I imagine that's probably the Drogheda player coming in from behind, but
Rob Harvey just checking on the state of health of both players who remain down. Let's hope it's nothing serious enough to keep them out of this game from here on in. There's blood flowing, I think, for Ryan Brennan.
Yeah, no, it looked like Ryan probably came off the worst of it. Just committed to the header, wasn't he? He had to make up a couple of yards, but just threw himself at it. Ended up coming off the worst. Just lobbed in the air from Duffy. You can see McEleney just wants to help it on, but Brennan just committed to it.
Ryan Brennan, he won a League Cup with Drogheda back in 2012 with Sean and Gavin against Killian. And what was surely the Brennan final, and was there in 2013, scored the late equaliser against Sligo Rovers in stoppage time, only for a couple of minutes later Anthony Elding to win it for the cup specialists of the time, Sligo Rovers. You look around that Drogheda squad, Ryan Brennan and Gary Deegan have played in cup finals. Gary Deegan winning one with that brilliant Bows team and back in the 08 double winning season, but for lots of them it's a first cup final, all chasing that first winner's medal aside from Deegan. And they've got themselves in a good position.
I'm just having a look at Patrick McEleney, obviously looking at that left arm, the shoulder maybe, looks in a lot of discomfort, doesn't he? Obviously holding his head where he maybe got the impact, but it seems the shoulder's probably come off the worst. Ryan will have an opportunity at half-time to maybe stop that bleeding and get himself patched up, but I don't like to see this in the cup final. Both players needing a lot of attention.
Running repairs for Ryan Brennan, who's been patched up. Patrick McEleney, we mentioned that injury against Waterford back in June. That was an elbow injury. He just fell very awkwardly, his arms underneath him, and straight away was reaching it, looked for his left shoulder. Two players who would be massive losses.
You said it, there's absolutely. There's two players you would not pick to lose, would be both of them.
And the big brother is forward to have a word, and he's pointing an accusing finger at someone. I think it might be is it Dave Webster? He's having a row with Shane McEleney.
I mean, you can see there, obviously, he's got a little bit of a mark on the right side of his head, McEleney, but I think the left shoulder might be more concerned to him. It just looks a bit dazed, doesn't he? Which would be the worry, maybe possible concussion. You don't want to see this, absolutely no.
Yeah, exactly. With a head injury, you need the physios, you need the doctors as well, though, just to check that everything's okay. Brian Maher taking the opportunity to come out and across to his manager.
Not sure what's going on. They're obviously taking the chance to maybe talk to him to see how he is, but they're walking down the side of the pitch there as if it's coming
great,
off.
Does it? The glue is going in. Temporary fix for Ryan Brennan to that gaping head wounds. Patrick McEleney, you can see he's holding his temple as well, which is never great. And we believe this is the end now for Patrick McEleney. Will patching is stripped and ready to go, and that is a huge blow. McEleney very influential in this first half, but that is the end of his cup final.
He was the one player for Derry that was starting to really kind of get a hold of things. A huge loss from him. He looks very upset as well, I have to say, but let's hope that's something he recovers from quite quickly.
Well, we heard Gareth McLean on our panel earlier speaking about the local players, that connection with the club, with the fans, and this is desperately disappointing for Patrick McEleney. They do have that bench to call on, and it's a strong bench when you look at the likes of Patrick Hoban, Colin Whelan, and the man on the way here, Will Patching.
Well, they have a good man to come in for them. Will Patching certainly would like to see more from him, considering the ability that he has. Ryan Brennan's been patched up. Probably going to try and get to half-time and see how he is. Doesn't seem to be as dazed maybe as Patrick McEleney is. Having a look at Patrick coming back towards the bench here, getting a huge applause from the Derry City support. And he's got the cotton buds in the nostrils. He's got the bandage around his head over there, Ryan Brennan. This is the game there. This is what happens. Like, I mean, not just cup finals, but any game. You've got to manage what's going on the pitch, and that's a huge loss for Derry, absolutely no doubt about it. Their captain, their talisman, the man that makes things happen for them, and this man coming on the pitch, really need him to step up, try and fill those boots.
Well, he's going to get plenty of time to influence this, Will Patching. You can't but feel for Patrick McEleney for your cup final to end like that. Ryan Brennan back on, trying to restore to the full complement. Diallo. Brennan, you would have seen, booked for his part in that clash as well. Adam O'Reilly. Wisdom. Evan Doherty, so keen now to see his side hold out and take that lead into half-time. Patching. Neat first involvement away from Ahui, sweeps it out to Connolly. Adam O'Reilly getting ahead of the game again. For any little ball in behind. Drogheda plugging the gaps though.
Boyce in that particular occasion, he was looking to kind of deliver it to the box. Mullen was the only player really offering themselves in any kind of position inside that 18-yard box. No one from Derry really getting themselves in there. Very much the status quo at the moment from Derry.
made by the club doctor, we're hearing. It's a concussion substitution. That won't affect the substitutions for Rory Higgins. Conor Kane. 5 of the minimum added 7 in this first half have elapsed. As Boyce gets forward again, Mullen draws the defender in, works it out to McMullan, whose first touch caused him a problem and get Kane a chance. And here is the fleet of foot Markey. Certainly a pitch and arena that will suit Markey, so comfortable on the ball, an intelligent footballer.
Yeah, he's done a great job as well on the left-hand side with himself and Kane. Kane crashing into that tackle of McMullan, but Markey clever feet, picking up the bits, just getting his team moving forward. And at the moment, a lot of questions for Derry to answer going into this half-time. 1-0 down and they're after losing their best player.
Pierrot and Connolly tangling off the ball. James Taylor certainly want him more involved in the second half. Douglas James Taylor, we've not seen much of him as Connolly works it back to Maher.
You haven't seen much from the two lads up front, probably because the ball that's come up to them has been very scrappy, as it was on that occasion. Connolly just heading it back to Maher, but two lads
Webster dispossessed by Farrell. Dennison reacts smartly there. Connolly nudges it to Diallo. Tracks Markey to him, works it to O'Reilly, gets it back again. Here comes Brennan. Well, that's twice in quick succession, those two deeper midfielders for Drogheda. Brennan and Farrell have come up with important interceptions and dispossessions.
Yeah, it was poor from Diallo. He got his head up, needs to move the ball, get the ball away, and just had no real decision in his mind what he was going to do. This time Pierrot gets the decision. He's that time getting involved with Diallo, and Rob Harvey saw it. Yeah, just happened off picture. This is a better view of it probably. Ahui, excellent winning the ball back, and Pierrot was just fouled off picture. And look at O'Reilly just bringing himself into Shane Farrell. Obviously with Drogheda at the moment, utilising all these opportunities just to kill the game. Volleyed back by Bolger. All eyes on Rob Harvey now as it's played away accurately by McEleney. Duffy inside to Patching, closed quickly by Brennan. James Taylor, Ahui galloping down that right-hand side, just didn't find the cross he needed for Pierrot. James Taylor has it again. Pierrot looking to attack that near post, and Connolly vigilantly defended, reacted really well there. He'll still have that Quinn goal, I'm sure, in his mind. He's certainly making over it. The sloppy little delivery in, and McEleney gets himself all wrong. That's a terrible attempt to clear it, but once it comes back in, the delivery, Pierrot made himself that front post, didn't he? And Connolly just kind of put his body there and made him foul him. A risky one, had to be accurate, and was for McEleney. O'Reilly, McMullen gone on this right-hand side. Bolger across again to engage him. McMullen looking to win something. Out of play, and the decision is goal kick. It's actually the second touch. He's done extremely well here, McMullen. Just kind of managed to weave his way past James Bolger, and it might have been this touch that he actually ends up kicking it play. Unfortunately, the crowd will argue maybe it didn't go out, but the lines was right behind. I had a very good view of it. It's barely just feeding off scraps at the moment. Just cannot get themselves to their natural way of playing at the moment. And big half-time, big team talk from Rory Higgins coming up. Some big moments in this half. Diallo. Brennan looking for space on this side, and a race on now between Boyce and Kane will get there. Conor Kane driving on, digs out across, away by Connolly, only as far as Markey. Well charged down by Connolly, who's come up with a couple of big defensive moments late on in the half.
McEleney out towards Wisdom. And that went out of play on the far side. Just looking down at Ryan Brennan, just demanding everything now in whatever seconds remain in this first half from his team to protect this lead.
They've just got the wind in their sails, don't they, Des? Like, they're fighting for everything, in not least Conor Kane on that particular occasion, just making up 50 yards, making it that ball his.
Didn't get to play in 22. He was here, he was suited, and was allowed to walk out on the pitch with the team after that awful injury up at Oriel Park. That cost him a huge chunk of that season and more. Conor Kane. Great to see him work his way back and do it with Drogheda as well. Here comes Ahui. Bolger muscled off it by Mullen, and that brings the half-time whistle and a huge roar from the Drogheda United fans. He might have started his senior career with Dundalk, Andrew Quinn, but make no doubt about it, he's long been forgiven that, and he is a star of this first half for them with the breakthrough goal and a big defensive moment in his own penalty area against Adam O'Reilly a few minutes later. For Derry City, coming here as favourites, they've got a job on their hands here. Drogheda United lead the cup final at half-time by 1-0. We'll take a break and look back at the main moments in that first half when we return.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
This is Science Week 2024 on RTE.
We're going to imagine this place as it could be 25 years from now.
Conservation and biodiversity, the future of technology, we'll be exploring it all.
We are 3D printing Ireland's first ever social housing project.
Join me and my family on our Skellig Island adventures.
The most creative minds are battling it out to save our planet.
All this and much more across TV, radio and online. Science Week 2024 on RTE.
It's never too early for some festive decorations. Once the house is looking Christmassy, treat yourself with these Jacob's tins. And top it all off with Tesco finest mince pies. Tesco, every little helps.
This Sky Black Friday, spend less and do more. With 1 gig Sky Broadband, Sky Stream and Netflix for €49 a month. 1 gig lets you game, stream and go full speed. And watch unmissable shows.
Can you imagine to be remembered like that?
On Sky.
You like that? Yo, didn't tell me you like that.
And Netflix. All for just €49 a month. Our lowest ever price. Search Sky Black Friday.
It's not bad going, is it? Hi.
There are moments in business that shape everything to come.
10 fish pies!
It's like a factory back here.
Our dedicated business teams will always be here to support you.
It's not bad going, is it?
Make a lot of money doing that.
Because the best businesses never stop beginning. Bank of Ireland, begin.
This is how much Mayo chicken you get for €2. This is how much holiday you get for €2.
Tray up, please.
McDonald's Eurosaver menu. Actually get your money's worth.
The moment my headache starts to ease, I feel like I am getting back up to speed. Panadol Actifast lemon-soluble tablets. Fast pain relief. Panadol. Release starts here.
Join us as we open the doors for seasonal savings at 3. Switch and get the Samsung Galaxy S24 or Google Pixel 9 on us this Christmas. Plus, trade in your old device for cashback when you switch to 3 today. Head in store or see 3.ie. 3 for a better connected life.
Make a smarter energy choice. Get 32% off electricity
with the same rates all day when you move to our smart all-day plan. Switch online today at boardgoshenergy.ie.
VHI Healthcare gives you and your family more, with services tailored to your needs. Search VHI today to get 25% off kids on a range of plans. VHI, because your health means everything.
When it comes to getting you to the airport, we know being on time is key. That's why we created our airport pre-book promise. With Free Now, pre-book your taxi and relax. If your pickup is delayed, get a €15 voucher. And if your trip doesn't happen, we'll give you a €50 voucher.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
The Aviva Stadium bustling with expectant fans, bristling with atmosphere on Cup final day. Drogheda United and Derry City primed and ready for action. Both sides settling into the task pretty quickly, with chances though at a premium. But when a real opportunity arose, courtesy of Shane Farrell's free kick, Andrew Quinn wasn't found wanting. What a superb finish, and it has Drogheda United in front at half-time. They lead Derry City by a goal to nil, and that scoreline possibly a good reflection of the first half. Drogheda settled in very quickly. They finished strongly as well.
Yeah, and the middle part Derry played well, but Drogheda started the best. You could see it. The Farrell's free kicks were causing them all sorts of problems, but it was Derry that allowed them to do that, especially early on. There wasn't enough aggression, the tempo wasn't high enough, they weren't moving the ball quick enough to get it out wide, to get 2v1s in the fullbacks, because that's where Derry have got joy. We'll see the chances later on, but Derry just, they weren't up, they didn't get to the pitch of the game quick enough, whereas Drogheda did. They kept the fans quiet, they slowly got up the pitch, they got their free kicks, and they created chances. Yeah, they did. And when you get those opportunities, particularly in a cup final, Graham, you have to take them, and Andrew Quinn did that superbly.
Yeah, the delivery is on point, and then the contact that Quinn makes is brilliant. It's a really tough finish, and he gets great contact on it. Connolly just switches off here. You can see where they are here. He tries to spin around the back of him, Quinn. He has one look at him. He never re-looks again. And he's actually heading towards the corner flag, and Quinn just nicks in on the inside, and that's a really good finish, because the contact, watching it coming over bodies like that, brilliant from Drogheda.
Yeah, and I think, Alan, people were wondering, you know, how long it might take Drogheda to settle, being probably the less experienced team for a big occasion like this. But they did settle quickly, and the early chances that came their way probably helped them get into the game very quickly. Yeah,
absolutely. I think what's helped them in the early part, Peter, is that they actually just played their way into the game in terms of taking the sting out of it. And this was an unbelievable chance. Again, Connolly's caught out. You look at him here, he's anticipating that Shane McEleney's going to win the header, and he steps up and lets Pierrot in behind him. The only problem with Pierrot, I don't know why he didn't shoot quicker, Peter. He takes an age to get the shot off. This one, Markey picks it up on the edge of the box. Decent save from Brian Maher. I think he's always going to save it, Peter, but he still has to get down at his near post and just direct it around the corner. But I think what's helped him, the game plans worked at 3, Kevin. They even took the sting out of the game after 20 minutes by the goalkeeper going down injured, what we see a lot in the game now. They all came over, had a little chat with Kevin and all. And then the biggest thing, on top of the two boys being their main threat, their set pieces that were always going to be dangerous. And when they got the goal from Quinn, it was so poor from Connolly. His defending was absolutely terrible, Peter.
Yeah, I suppose Rory Higgins and indeed Derry City supporters will take heart from the fact that they have worked Luke Dennison on a couple of occasions during that first half, and arguably one of these should have been put in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. That middle patch of the first half was good from there. You see there McMullan getting it in. It's a great ball with his left foot. Danny Mullen goes then with a kind of a back flick. I really think he should throw his right foot at that. It's not coming at an angle. He has to flick it with the back of his foot. You see it here now, Diallo. This is the stage where Patrick McEleney was dictating the game. He was getting them behind him. He was getting balls out. That's a great chance. I tell you what, the Drogheda defenders did well just to put him off. But it's a great chance. He just has to guide it under the far post. That, to me, is a better chance than the first one. But at that stage, Patrick McEleney was really working them well. He was going on behind. He was coming up short. He was getting it under his feet. And Danny Mullen was working well in tangent with him. And then, of course, he had to go off. Big blow for Derry.
Yeah, that's a big blow. And it was a nasty clash between the two players, Graham. And, well, poor old Patrick McEleney, he's come off the worst of it.
Yeah, Brennan's just on the move and on the way over, and McEleney gets to it and heads it on. Like, I don't think there's any malice in it from Brennan. I think he's being honest. He's gone. That's why they clashed heads. If there's malice in it, he probably leads with his arm.
Should there have been a card there?
look, it's a yellow card because he's late to the tackle, whether he's late with his head or late with his foot, he's late. But yeah, it's a massive blow from Derry. To be honest, this game looks like a team that isn't fancied in Drogheda against a team that doesn't fancy it today. That's the way it looks like, because Derry haven't played with any impetus, with any aggression, with any type of energy to them at all. And Drogheda, like Alan said, their game plan has been excellent, but they have to implement that game plan. They've been aggressive, they've been on the front foot whenever they needed, and they've defended well when they needed to as well.
I agree. I think that first half performance sums Derry City up all season. They're so laboured and pedestrian in possession. The amount of times we're in the brandy while watching them, and they're going over and back and side to side. And when they do inject a bit of pace into the game, that's when they can cause problems. But they don't do it enough, Peter. And they allowed Drogheda to basically play as much.
They've been formidable in the cup. They haven't conceded a goal in the whole cup run, and they've scored goals. They haven't been good in the first half. They've got a second half now. On the bench is massive. Whelan has been out for 2.5 years injured. He can come on and dictate this game.
And that second half will be going very, very shortly, but we have a quick commercial break to take, so do stay with us. We're back with the second half from the Aviva very shortly.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
Can the boys in green finish the year on a high?
And Everselli backs himself, nonchalant crosses, opportunity! Wonderful goal for Robbie Brady!
Thursday at 7 on RTE2 and RTE Player.
FBD doesn't stand for Federal Butterfly Department.
Or flat battery doctors.
Yeah, that's flat.
Fixing Banjack's dishwashers. Or fierce barn damage. FBD stands for support. We're Ireland's homegrown insurer, supporting over 300 community groups and initiatives across 34 branches nationwide. No wonder 9 out of 10 customers renew every year. FBD Insurance. Support. It's what we do.
Un cuore matto che ti segue ancora, che tu vuoi bene a un'altra e non a me. Un cuore matto da legare, che crede ancora che tu pensi a me. Non è convinto che sei andata via, che m'hai lasciato e non ritornerai. Dimmi la verità.
Peter Moretti. Enjoy life's simple pleasures.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
So, where are you off to this year?
We were thinking of somewhere... Antarctica. They were thinking Antarctica.
No.
6 weeks overland. You catch your own food. You would love that. 'Tis very extreme. Intense.
Your vote is your voice, so don't let others decide for you.
With the add-on of the deep sea kayaking, of course.
Be a voter on Friday, November 29th. See electoralcommission.ie.
You're right, love.
You know you didn't just play, right?
You haven't got my 4-7 game! You rescued this bat.
You came to the rescue! You didn't just play.
You made this possible!
On the darkest, coldest of Christmas Eves, the festive spirit had been stolen by thieves. Kevin the Carrot knew just what to do and headed straight to the Humbug HQ.
Kevin, that's the oven.
The peril and danger he faced while inside can never be told. It's classified.
Katie, the briefcase. The one with the false bottom. Cheeky. It's a booby trap. Stop! They must have left the oven on.
So Kevin and Katie completed their mission. And everyone rejoiced in festive tradition.
It's mad.
No, it's like 12th to 13th viewing, I think. All right. Okay, bye-bye. Right, come on. Will we try again?
There's a lot to think about when buying your first home. But with AIB's support, getting your mortgage sorted is easier. So you can focus on the questions you really care about.
What did you think?
AIB, for the life you're after.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
Introducing a Jubilee team of Cup winners has now become part and parcel of Cup final day. How many of these former players do you recognise? Well, it's the Bray Wanderers Cup winning team of 1999. That final went to a second replay before Bray finally got the better of Finn Harps. 2 on the scoreline. At the third time of asking, Jason Byrne returning from injury to bag both goals on a memorable day for Bray Wanderers FC. OK, second half is about to start. Let's go back to Des and Stuart on commentary.
Thank you, Peter. Welcome back. The team's out very sharply for the start of this second half. Drogheda with that 1-goal lead. The first goal Derry City have conceded in the FAI Cup this season. Now one they need to respond to. Ahui looking to nick it on, patching. If you're just joining us, well, the big moment, the Andrew Quinn goal after 37 minutes, and the other setback for Derry City, the loss of their captain and leader, Patrick McEleney, to injury. In the late stages of that first half, how will they react to that? For Drogheda, happy being the underdog, as Kevin Doherty says, they're the underdog in most games that they play. But they're in the position they want to be in, 1-0 up, Derry having to come after them. And the chance to maybe get James Taylor and Pierrot in front of goal on counter-attacks. And of course these situations. Free kick brought the goal. We've seen the threat from the long throw-ins of Kane on the left and Ahui on the right. Bolger closest to him. Comes off the head of Wisdom. Connolly made that one his. Shane Farrell, Connor Kane, Adam O'Reilly is going to go all the way here. Forward by Dennison. What's the key, Stuart, do you think, for each side now in this season as they chase the victory, or in this second half?
Well, it was interesting to see both teams out very, very early, very, very keen to get on with the second half. You'd imagine that man in picture would have said more the same, please, thank you. But from Derry's point of view, just seemed quite wounded at the moment, and nothing really seems to be going right for them. I think Rudy Higgins must just got to get something out of these players.
Off the head of Wisdom again, and that's loose at the back. And Douglas James Taylor, that lovely ability to be able to sniff out a chance, an opportunity, and find the net. He was hunting this one.
It was Andre Wisdom that it came off. Ronan Boyce felt he just probably needed to just see it out of play, but Douglas James Taylor just sneaks around the back. And reacts well, Ronan Boyce, when he suddenly sees that man in your picture, just throws himself at it and stops it. The second half pretty much going the way the first half kind of ended. Draw it out pretty much set pieces. It's 2v1 here now.
Markey comes out late, but O'Reilly's gone with him. There's a lot going on in that penalty area. Connolly and Ryan Brennan in particular. Derry clear, picked up by Markey again, and here is Ahui. Just went straight down towards Pierrot, and Bolger's forward there with him. Wisdom gets a touch. Patching gets there, beautiful ball outside of the right boot. And Duffy racing. Ahui still in that centre-back position. Markey can't haul Duffy. Here comes the cross towards the back. The header cushioned down and volleyed away by Bolger. And the first time Ahui hasn't been close to Duffy. You see the damage that he almost did.
Yeah, took the words out of my mouth. That's first time in the game Ahui found himself in a central defensive area, coming off the back of the corner kick, and Duffy had air between him, and the delivery's fantastic. Left foot right to that back stick. Just wondered if maybe Danny Mullen just tried to head it back into an area. Maybe he could have taken it on because he had plenty of time and space.
Positive from Connor Kane. Back onto his stronger left side. Still going, Connor Kane. Eventually the shot charged down by Boyce. He gets the benefit of the whistle.
See the reaction from Markey, pumped up, It's a wonderful run from Kane, but Boyce done his defensive duties really well there. Then had himself in 1v1. Just going back to your point, that man picture, Rudy Higgins, penny for his thoughts and what he would have said at half-time to his players. It's been a really difficult few weeks for him and the club. He certainly came into this game expected overwhelming favourites. They just haven't turned up so far.
Ahui has been excellent at the tender age of 20, taking on Wisdom here. Brennan tidied up by the goal scorer Quinn. Dennison taking no chances, as goalkeepers these days often do. Ahui gets on it again, creating that space for himself wide. He had 3 players to beat, and Diallo got a foot in.
Pitch there, Ahui, right wing back position to get himself on the ball early in the second half. I think Andre Wisdom tends to be comfortable dropping quite deep. Duffy likes to get on, and Ahui's clever enough to kind of find himself in the middle of the both of them, getting a lot of possession at the moment.
Cleverly done by Brennan. Ahui into Farrell. Pass was on to Markey. He's gone through the tackle of McMullan. Kane, Pierrot and Douglas James Taylor awaiting a delivery. It comes in. Connolly defending that near post area and defending it well. Drogheda not giving up though, keeping the pressure on high up here, and they've won it back again. Shane Farrell fancies a crack, big deflection behind for a corner. And a really encouraging start to the second half here from Drogheda United.
Well, they look so comfortable, Des, don't they? Just kind of playing it around, snapping into tackles, winning those second balls. Markey was the one that kind of started up that move. Left-hand side himself, Connor Kane came into Shane Farrell, and Adam O'Reilly just had to kind of close down that space. Gets a deflection, could have gone anywhere, but Drogheda now in the position where they want to be, and that's set pieces.
Sean Robertson, we can tell you, is going through a fairly strenuous warm-up down there. Here is Farrell, booming delivery, it beats everyone. Kane in a race now with O'Reilly. Ahui. As we saw with the Ahui delivery for Pierrot in the early minutes of the game, it was just a foot or two away from being taken in by one of the front two. That time James Taylor.
I think he's miskicked this one a little bit. I think he's meant to go a lot wider, possibly to Webster sneaking on the back post, but he's kind of cut across it, and all of a sudden Douglas James Taylor nearly found himself through.
O'Reilly advancing out to the right hand side. Paul McMullan. Boyce gets outside him. McMullan back inside to O'Reilly, and there is Markey yet again to nick one back for Drogheda.
That's what Drogheda have done so well. They've kind of compacted all their players in that central area. And O'Reilly gets torn. There's 2 or 3 Drogheda United players ready just to kind of take it off and dispossess and pick the pocket, whatever you want to call it. But that's been the game so far. Derry just need to kind of wake up, liven up a little bit. Way too slow. Need to anticipate things a lot quicker. We would have seen a big reaction from Derry coming out in the second half, but so far it's Drogheda that looked the most comfortable.
Shane McEleney on to Wisdom. That ball in behind, put out by Quinn. O'Reilly quick to see the opportunity. Here's Duffy patching. Plenty of space here for Boyce, the full-back with a knack of scoring goals. Lets one fly there, the impressive Bolger out to meet him. McMullan faced up by Kane. He blocks the first cross. McMullan back on it again. Slips it inside to Boyce. And Boyce seeks out a cross. Oh, great movement in the penalty area there from Danny Mullen. Got across the front. Just couldn't get enough purchase on the efforts.
He doesn't really catch the cross well, does he, boys? But Mullen is really clever getting across here. Have a look at this touch, just down the side of Bolger, just puts it into a good area, and Mullen's come from behind. David Webster doesn't know he's there. You have to feel he's got to get a little bit more on that. Maybe kind of cut across a far stick. It's a good chance for Derry.
McEleney strong in the air. Header for Wisdom, not made the most of it.
He's got to do better there, doesn't he? McEleney's had a word with him as well. You can see the two of them looking over his shoulder. Wisdom not impressed with his centre-half partner, but it's a clear header. Got to keep it in possession, keep your team trying to get forward. And as we've seen, there's these opportunities Drogheda have played to their advantage perfectly well. They just kind of slow everything down, try to take the momentum out of the game. Ahui, you can see what he's trying to do there, just let it go out, just trying to kill the game as much as possible, frustrate Derry, and it's worked so far.
Wilson reading the throw in. Oh, Farrell has misjudged that one. And Derry running here now, patching. Out to Mullen. Ahui uses that pace to get back goal side, but having done the hard work, little arm on the shoulder, right in front of Rob Harvey.
The bottom patching into Mullen is not a good one. Needs to be in front of him. Mullen has to kind of just check it. Allows Drogheda United, the players, to get back around, and Ahui, fair enough, gives away the free kick, but they'll be happy enough with that draw. That could have been a real dangerous situation. Derry City breaking like that, but the ball patching to Mullen, needs to be in front of him. Just takes the momentum out of the move.
And Drogheda got the matchups right here. Duffy teases it in. Offside flag up.
It looks like Andre Wisdom, doesn't it? Back stick. He's looking around the shoulder for Muse, but you cannot be offside from a position like that. Have a look at it now. No, Mark Connolly just stuck his head in a little behind, but it's wonderful opportunities for Derry. They need to be more careful in those situations.
And Rory Higgins isn't going to hang around. It's going to be a double change. Sean Robertson and Colm Whelan. And fancy for the arrival of Whelan. It might actually be one of the midfield three who'll go. Whelan to go up there with Mullen. Some defending to do for Derry first, though. Markey trying to dance his way through. He'll win the throw-in. Now we can have those changes. First man off.
Substitution for Derry City, number 21, Danny Mullen, being replaced by
Danny Mullen.
11, Colm Whelan.
So striker for striker.
And number 12, Paul McMullen, being replaced by number 29, Sean Robertson.
And right wing for right wing. So Colm Whelan, who has had no luck at all since his arrival at Derry. He'd gone there having suffered the ACL with UCD at Finn Harps, and then made a great start, 2 goals in his first 3 appearances, and then that second ACL against Shamrock Rovers. Over a year out, a June return. What a goal scorer. Back defending here against Conor Kane, who's sharp and he's gone down. Penalty. Brilliant bit of work from Conor Kane. Positive, decisive run, and Boyce looked like he left a leg in there. And now there will be an opportunity for Douglas James Taylor.
That's what it all comes down to there. It's aggression, wanting to get on the end of things. Oh, that's very, very tight. The referee's got a wonderful view of it. It's probably just inside. I'd say it's even on the line. Oh, I'm not going to complain with the referee because he's literally 5 yards behind it, but you have to say Conor Kane makes that happen. The ball in front of him, and anticipation, aggression, get there. Boyce has got to be much more careful, knowing where he is, and looking at the reaction of Ronan Boyce. He knew straight away.
So here we go. Brian Maher, who saved a penalty on the opening day of the season from Ryan Brennan. Douglas James Taylor scored a late penalty leveller against Shells in his debut, 1 of 5 he's converted this season. Chasing a 6th penalty kick here and a 7th FAI Cup goal of the campaign. And this the chance to give the underdogs real breathing room. He's dispatched it clinically. The coolest of heads out there. And just reward, you would think, for such a positive second half start from Drogheda United. They lead Derry City by 2 goals to 0, and it's dead-eyed Douglas James Taylor again.
Oh, what a big moment for Drogheda. Calm, cool, collected, little check in the run. He slots it, makes the keeper go the wrong way. A lot of composure needed from James Douglas Taylor to take that. A lot of pressure on his shoulders considering the circumstances. And makes no mistake about it, this is a huge moment for Drogheda United. And Derry City, we just something has got to happen for them. I don't know whether Rory Higgins is going to have to make another change now. Brought on like for like Colin Whelan for Mullen, but he may need to go with 2 up top. You see the Derry City players warming up down below us. A lot of consultation going on there. They have to change something, Rory Higgins, because they just haven't started this second half. Let's have another look at the penalty. Little check in the run. Brian Maher goes to his right, and James Douglas Taylor says thank you very much.
Dara Doyle telling me during the week that they had practice penalties in the event it might go to a shootout, that every one of the team and the squad took one, including the goalkeeper Luke Dennison. But there was no doubt once Rob Harvey was pointing to the spot today outside of the shootout that it was going to be Douglas James Taylor to step up. And that's the connection that they have with through the Travella group at Walsall. They brought him in midway through the season, and incredibly, in 19 appearances, it's 13 goals. As we look at Conor Kane.
That's all about who wants it more, Des. Who wants it more? And Conor Kane wanted it more. Ronan Boyce, you've got to be critical of him there. You cannot make that tackle unless he's sure, because he's actually going out of play. Just go with him, guide him out, use a little bit of experience. Kane, but just sheer aggression and will just tempts Boyce in. Dreamland at the moment.
I say those 2 Drogheda wing backs, when you consider they're up against out-and-out wingers, you've got to have that bravery to go forward and show what you can do offensively as well. And Ahui has done that, and Conor Kane has done that too. But telling effect just there. Derry City need a massive half hour here, or a season that promised so much might end with so little. Robertson, excellent first involvement, driving, looking to get his cross in. Block made by Bolger, clearance by Markey. Here is Pierrot, great strength, just dallied on it, and O'Reilly picks his pocket. Duffy, game really open now, patching. What can he fashion from here? Back with Duffy again. Patching. Wheeling, awaiting anything that might come his way, patching. And Ryan Brennan long in the tooth enough to read the Derry intentions there.
From Drogheda's point of view, they're actually maintaining, they're keeping 2 up top all the time. Derry are going for it.
Pierrot, well, he had a little look at Brian Maher when he was caught in the centre circle. Thought he was going to go for it then.
That's a hell of a spot there. I saw that myself, but yeah, obviously something they've worked on. Mark tends to keep himself off his line as he is now, and
just look at James Taylor now, 2-0 up, just dropping in on Diallo. Pierrot staying up top, and what an outball he is to use that strength of his.
Kevin Doherty's got a big decision to make now. Does he change things, or does he keep it? Does he keep the 2 up top, because Derry are going to press forward, and those 2 lads are going to get opportunities on the break.
Boyce looking to make amends. And Farrell did well initially, and then just a heavy touch takes it out for a Derry corner.
And so far from set pieces, just haven't looked dangerous. Derry City tried something short in the first half, didn't come off. Michael Duffy, know he has that ability to really hit an area. Boy, do his team need him now.
Hard swinger from Duffy. Plenty of air on that one. Dennison leaves it to his defenders to deal with, and there was enough pressure on Connolly to mean it wasn't going to be an easy finish.
Delivery wasn't good, just hung it up, didn't he? Connolly had nothing to really go and attack, and in the end he's in a standing position. He's just going to try and get himself up and leverage something out of it. And Brennan making a nuisance of himself now with that headband. And that's been the case the whole game, just to draw the players making a nuisance of themselves, get themselves nudging them. Putting Derry City off as much as possibly can.
Well, Derry City need a cup final saviour, a cup final moment. They need a Felix Healy or a Peter Hutton or a Stuart Gauld or a Liam Coyle, a Mark Farron or a Rory Patterson. You can provide the spark for them. Duffy On the inside this time. This is where the danger comes. Ahui in with another tackle. Neat touch from Patching. Robertson having a look down the left-hand side. And what a game he's having, Alicia Ahui.
Outstanding, Des, absolutely outstanding. I mean, he's up against basically the best winger in the league, and he has looked so comfortable, backed his pace and his aggression.
Gets a little nick on that one as well, and Pierrot can head clear. He's released by Nottingham Forest. His hometown club as a 16-year-old Ahui. Went on to Lincoln with a few loans. He actually scored up in the Brandywell last season. A winning goal as well in the first half of that campaign on loan at Drogheda. Think of the impact James Brown made as a right back there. A touch on that, it was awkward for Quinn, and he did the right thing, just helping it on its way.
He's got to be really composed, Quinn, as he rightly said, when the delivery comes, gets a little bit of a deflection. He's got to correct his feet, Quinn. He knows that Patching is coming in behind him. Just guide that out of play. Just maybe Patching could have been more aggressive there, getting behind him, but he gives it well, Quinn.
So here we go. They are going for it now. Running Boyce off. Patrick Hoban on. We wonder how fit he is. Didn't feature in the last 3 games of the campaign, but what a start he made to life in a Derry City shirt. 6 goals in his first 5, including scoring on his debut against Drogheda up the Brandywell. Scored in the 5-1 win up there as well. They need him now. Duffy swings it in. The bandage, Brennan to head away. Think back to that semi-final, all the long throws they faced. How many times Brennan was the one on the end of it defensively. Brilliant ball around the back. And Michael Duffy bemoaning what happened inside, particularly the foul that brought the whistle and some respite here for Drogheda.
Oh, what a delivery that is. You could not have put in a more perfect delivery than that. You'd have to give credit to Drogheda for just getting bodies in the way, but Connolly was the one coming around the back. Probably just didn't take a chance early enough. All of a sudden now Michael Duffy's just trying to just work himself into this game. Ahui's been fantastic and shutting him down up until now, but
well, there was pressure on Derry coming here, not just because of league events, but also coming in here as favourites. 21 points between these teams when the dust settled in the league. Pierrot running but offside, so the league table suggested Derry, but league form, you would say, second half of the season gave Drogheda every chance coming here as Pierrot picks up a yellow card.
Yeah, something that Kevin has actually regularly spoken about. Dundalk game being a huge turning point back in the summer. We just felt everything changed for them. With the exception of a couple of games, their form has been excellent.
Well, we didn't quite hit the 40 mark. We were very, very close to it, though. 38,723. And Drogheda about to introduce Adam Foley. Wisdom. Collision off the ball between Hoban and Webster.
Hoban, when he came on, was obviously full of instructions for his team. They're gone to a 3-5-2. They're going to make a change now as well.
France Pierrot had that injury in the closing weeks. The hamstring picked up half an hour into the semi-final win against Wexford. He is withdrawn, and Adam Foley, who came on in that semi-final and scored the 2 goals to see Drogheda through to this final, their first since 2013, a year when they incredibly lost 3 cup finals. But they are now, what, a quarter of this game away from one of the biggest days in their history. Robertson dashing and darting, twisting. Kane gets the block on it. Robertson goes again though. Bolger won the first header and then gets it away.
He's got a hell of a delivery on him, Robertson, I have to say. Seen him a few times in the Brandywell. You can certainly put it in the box when he gets that opportunity. He's full of running at the moment.
Patching. Wisdom. Patching again. Brennan comes to meet him. Slipped inside to Diallo. Robertson his target. Defended by Kane again. A little look to the Drogheda fans massed behind that goal.
It's fantastic. I mean, just the reaction from him, stopping the cross. Just tells you everything about this Drogheda United team so far. It's been on point.
Another player, Kane, who's had a big second half of the season. They'd Evan Weir there at the start of the campaign. As Duffy puts it in. Too much for Hoban, not enough for Whelan. O'Reilly wins it back once more to keep the pressure on Drogheda here. Duffy facing up Ahui again. Diallo. Little ball slipped through to O'Reilly. Gets himself into the penalty area. Diallo on the angle. O'Reilly just bumped off it by Foley and Markey to bring it away. And he's been side down by McEleney, and that's a yellow card for Shane McEleney.
Yeah, I'm not too sure it was a booking. Obviously it's a booking because he feels maybe Markey is through. He kind of comes in the blind side. Markey's clever enough just to kind of touch it away from him when he felt McEleney was coming in. This is the break now. Markey, as he's done so well the whole game, picked up the ball in those areas and kept possession for his team. He worked tirelessly, but he given no decision but to book him from that, considering that Markey was away.
Let's see exactly where the challenge was. What do you think?
Well, from that angle it looks like it might be slightly outside, but we have to put it, the referee is behind it, Des. You know, we obviously don't have that exact line of sight, but the referee was 5 yards behind it and made no hesitation in giving it. That angle might suggest that it may have been outside, but the man in black made the call.
That's towards Colin Whelan. Webster was under pressure. Quinn in to help him out. Foley, as Wisdom stepped off. In the end it proved a good decision, a wise one. And now Duffy clips it inside and away from Farrell. They've done well to fashion a pass to Patching. Quinn in the way again.
Michael Duffy now all of a sudden sparking into life, just trying to make something happen for his team. His corner kicks haven't been up to what you would expect his standard to be, but feeling maybe a set piece is a huge opportunity for Derry to get themselves back into the game.
Still plenty of time to turn this around for Derry, given the amount of attacking players they've on the pitch now. In by Duffy, Dennison under pressure. No whistle, play goes on. Dennison again scrambling off the ground to get his hands in it.
I don't know what's happened there. Was it Ryan Brennan that obviously Dennison's kind of punched it, of course. Ryan Brennan throws himself in, the ball's gone up in the air twice in the space of a couple of seconds, and that could go anywhere. You can see Derry City just trying to throw bodies at it, and to their credit, Drogheda just snuffing it out, just getting themselves there in number, giving Dennison protection just to try and stop that ball from going into the net.
Here's Adam Foley, he's offside. The player down in back play.
Shane Farrell, is it? We were wondering.
More changes on the. We'll see Luke Heeney, and it might be for Farrell, who I think he just seemed to pull up slightly when he was out on this near side, trying to check the run of Michael Duffy.
Substitution for Drogheda United, number 17.
Not more than played his part, Shane Farrell. Superb delivery for the breakthrough goal from Andrew Quinn. And in a season where he's experienced every possible emotion, he goes off to a huge ovation from the Drogheda fans. And in comes Luke Heeney. In terms of over a single spell, the longest serving player. Ryan Brennan 3 spells at Drogheda, but Heeney of Bellewstown is in. He does a job every time he's called upon. Ideally, from his point of view, in a central midfield area. He played more or less half a season as a right back last season.
Perfect man to come in, because that's all Kevin Doherty will ask of any player coming into this game, is just do your job. That's exactly what all these Drogheda United players have done so far. They've stuck to a game plan, they've believed in that game plan, and they've implemented it perfectly.
Whether the plan is for him to keep tabs on Patching, he's the closest one to him at the moment. Both sets of fans clock watching as O'Reilly advances. Robertson. And there's enough taken off the cross by Kane to allow Dennison to claim.
Let's have a look at the body language of the Derry City players as they make their way back there. Just whether it's losing self-belief or just exhausted, mentally exhausted, tired, not too sure, a little bit of everything maybe, but that cross from Robertson, I expected it to be a lot better. It might be said there, maybe Kane just took the sting out of it.
Ryan Brennan sent sprawling, no whistle from Rob Harvey. Here's Duffy. Throw in one off Heeney.
Derry's point of view, they just need a goal. They just need a goal for something to happen for them. Not creating any real obvious opportunities. Might be something here.
Whelan. Robertson. Hoban in there, patching in there, heading towards Hoban. Terrific little flicked header from Webster. Diallo. Wisdom. McEleney sets it for Connolly. Drogheda very deep. Diallo again, looks to work the 1-2. Duffy's return ball, not all it might have been.
Yeah, the return ball just let him down. It's a clever little chinky one from Diallo. Faked the cross, just played it inside the Duffy. 1-2 with Duffy, would just overcook the Duffy on the return pass.
Kevin Doherty and Dara Doyle, who were together with Longford in 07, the cup final against Cork City on a day when the weather was horrendous and when the result didn't go Longford's way. 17 years on from that as a management duo, they're edging ever closer to a cup winners medal. James Taylor almost released Foley. Here goes O'Reilly. James Taylor back, sliding in to win the tackle, and Markey on the turn. O'Reilly hunting him down. Out to the left-hand side, Kane waits for Heeney to arrive. Heeney again, clips one for Foley. Protects the ball well, James Taylor gets turned. He tried to poke it goalwards, didn't cause a problem for Maher though, and he's quick to get patching moving here. Squeezes it into that channel for Michael Duffy. Have we seen anyone handle Michael Duffy as Ahui has done today?
Classic from Ahui once again. That was a real opportunity to get Duffy away, but Ahui just has that pace, doesn't he?
McEleney. Neat touch out to Robertson. Once again, can't get it beyond Conor Kane. I'm sure they would have anticipated Drogheda, that if they got in front there would be period stretches in this game where they would have to suffer defensively. But it's all part of the game, and they have bought into that.
I just feel that even with Derry City making the changes, something would have happened for them there. It just has not happened. That's all down to Drogheda. Drogheda just maintained their game plan. Their work rate has been absolutely fantastic so far. Whether or not that will take 10 minutes or so, you'd expect maybe so, but they just have that resolute attitude at the moment. They are not going to be beaten so far. Derry City just have to ask some more questions of them. Pat Hoban, he's having a right go with some of his players because it's just too monotonous, too predictable at the moment, and they just cannot find a way.
Well, Drogheda did Derry damage back in September with that win at Weavers Park. They're about to break some Derry hearts today. Heeney snapping into the tackle against Hoban.
That's just the way the game is going to go at the moment. Everything's all about second balls and who has that hunger to pick them up. Heeney on occasion making a nuisance of himself.
Robertson was forced to stretch for it. These are the opportunities maybe Drogheda had been waiting for. And Kane was free and away there with a better pass to find him. Conor Kane was one of 4 players in the current Drogheda squad who were there when these sides last met in the Cup back in 2021. That was in the first round, a 1-1 draw. Danny Lafferty brought it to extra time in the 6th minute of added time. Drogheda had 2 men sent off, ended with 9. Derry won it in a shootout. Plenty of drama that day. Derry would take anything for a shootout at the moment. 2-0 down inside the last 12 minutes of the 90.
Just worried about getting a goal there, isn't it?
McEleney curls it in. There always seems to be one of those three centre halves ready to meet at that time, Webster.
Just can't find a way, can they? It's just too predictable. They're just too predictable at the moment. All down the throat. Drogheda, they have that three centre halves there.
And that's something they've done really well. Denying the crosses.
That's James Douglas-Tate. That's the centre forward getting themselves back.
There comes the ball from Diallo, headed away by Brennan. Connolly. Nice ball forward that for Will Patching. Duffy in up the left-hand side. And a quartet of claret and blue shirts there to meet him.
Ahui again reacting, just following Duffy everywhere. He comes inside Michael Duffy. Touch while he wasn't the best. Went hands down. Ahui's just kind of snapping at his heels.
Drogheda happy to sit deep. Here's Whelan. One of those who can conjure something out of nothing. And this was tight. Deemed to be just outside. The challenge by Ryan Brennan, who's already been booked and thinks better of having a word at Rob Harvey as a result.
Look at his man with Whelan, just picks it up. Gets 1v1 with Brennan. Yeah. And referee, as we said, rightly, a good view of it. Difficult free kick there, considering how close it is, but Michael Duffy patching.
Two right footers on the wrong side, you would say, for them. Duffy having a look around that wall. One for Derry will set up a grandstand finish here.
Just looking at Roberston on the edge of the box even. Cut back. Duffy trotting the United player back.
Duffy. There's a big wall set up by Dennison and it did its job. Maher. Well spotted. It just didn't have the legs to Dave Webster.
Just see it on his face, he was grimacing dead. He's exhausted, absolutely exhausted, because he threw everything into that interception, and when he just tried to run after it, you could see he was through his teeth, grimacing, just trying to get there. This is where you're going to start seeing the fitness levels, and Drogheda just put everything into this game, and we'll certainly expect to see more of that from them.
Well, he's limping back towards his position, Dave Webster. He was clever enough, feeling the cramp, to roll himself back onto the field of play. Duffy and still have his moments. It won't be there. Launched away by Webster. Incredibly, he's had some career, but he was brought in at the start of the season on trial. Dave Webster, he was playing Leinster Senior Cup games and the odd appearance in the league. But once they changed that system, they went for his experience in the middle of the back three. Jacob Davenport, another ex-Manchester City youth team player, lost the 2017 Youth Cup final with Diallo, Tyreek Wilson, Foden and Sancho against star-studded Chelsea. He is on for wisdom, and we'll soon see Aaron Harper-Bailey as well for Drogheda, but Webster struggling. Davenport, not a great cross. He looked to challenge again here against Foley. Connolly with the head start. Markey not giving it up though. And Connolly heads it on the ground to keep his side on it. Diallo under pressure, dragged back by Foley.
I think Connolly probably would have been hard done by if that happened to get a free kick, but just another example of Drogheda United and that, just the sheer aggression. Markey on that occasion, and Foley followed up, just wanting to try and make things happen, just to kind of get possession back.
Nice take from Foley, and taken down by Adam O'Reilly. And Kevin Doherty will be delighted with Foley there. If you can't keep possession, win a free kick. Frustrated looking tackle from O'Reilly.
He's got a lot to do here. Foley has got himself surrounded by 3-4 Derry City players. The touch has to be good. He just has that awareness to know O'Reilly's coming on his left side, makes him make the foul. This is just give Drogheda a huge opportunity just to get a breather. Derry City players starting to look really, really tired. This is Markey on Connolly earlier on. Could have got seriously hurt there, Connolly. Brave man. Quinn and the Wars. The sheer effort that Drogheda have put into this game so far has been exceptional.
Drogheda through and through. Ryan Brennan patching. Ahui hasn't dealt with that one initially, but Duffy's offside.
That's one thing that's happened way too often from Derry City's point of view. I know it's fractions. Ryan's from the far side has got most of these right, and looks like he's gotten that one right as well. Even the delivery needs to be in front of Duffy, but from his point of view, he can't be offside in that position when he's looking across the line.
No sign of Harper Bailey. I think Dave Webster said, I'm okay. I'm fit to continue. He and Quinn and Bolger, big performances today. They face Danny Mullen, Whelan, Patrick Hoban. Top quality strikers. Haven't given up too many opportunities. Drogheda fans feeling they need to do their bit now, even more so as we hit 5 minutes. The regulation, 90 to go. Sadou Diallo, Davenport. Connolly, what can he see? Towards Davenport, Ahui in again.
And again, there's just seems to have found himself always in the right place, isn't he? Left side of Derry City just hasn't worked. Michael Duffy hasn't been able to kind of impose his game. He's been stopped. Man, Alicia Ahui, fantastic.
Robertson, not a bad ball in. Whelan back to goal, looking to set one up, and Foley back, sensing the danger.
Incredible to think that even Hoban's been on the pitch now. How long he's had hardly touched the ball? It's probably the first time now, but such has been Drogheda's ability to just kind of snuff out Derry.
Davenport, missed it away by Dennison. Whelan just couldn't get it to sit on his chest. It would come back to Whelan again. He mightn't have been perfectly set for it, and as a result, off target. Drogheda United side that in league terms, just 7 wins this season, all against bottom half sides, bar that September victory against Derry. On the cusp of doing for Derry again here. Connolly attacks it and wins it. Hoban not too involved so far since his introduction. Clever header from Connolly. McEleney. Robertson gives him width over on that far side. Instead it's across to patching. Duffy. Diallo. Davenport just sitting in this left-sided position. Patching. Heeney with him, can't block the cross. Brilliant ball in. And Bolger got a foot to it. Or was it Brennan? Cleared as far as Robertson. Nice little check by McEleney. Looking to set one up. Diallo steps over. Connolly. Still Matt Connolly, charged down by James Taylor. Michael Duffy. No way through beyond Heeney. Dennison climbing, claiming to an ovation from the fans behind his goal. And as he has it, let's get your player of the match, Stuart.
Oh, all sorts happening there. Have a look at this tackle from Douglas James Taylor. Just epitomises exactly what Drogheda are all about. I mean, man for man, Drogheda have been absolutely fantastic. Just mentioned Markey, Ryan Brennan, Quinn getting the goal. But for me, number 2 for Drogheda, Ahui, the fact that he's had to play against Michael Duffy, and he's done an absolutely exceptional job playing against probably the best winger in this league. His aggression, his pace, his positioning has been absolutely fantastic. So Ahui for me, player of the match.
And we look back again, the little tug on the jersey from Mark Connolly brings a yellow card, brings a Drogheda free kick. We have hardly seen them the last 15, 20 minutes inside the opposition half, but Ahui is named as the man of the match today. He's given maybe the biggest job to do by Kevin Doherty, and how well he did it. He's chasing down Duffy again here. Heeney, no stranger to that right back position, just stepped in with Ahui out of it. McEleney trying to slip one through. Bolger intercepts. Robertson runs into Kane. Another with a huge performance, and you think back to that injury and it's hard to look beyond it, so bad that it was. It was a long, long road back for Kane. He was here as part of the Shelburne squad that lost to Derry City in 22. And a day like this might have seemed so far away. Derry's long throw for McEleney as we head towards added time. Bolger gets the first contact. Patching, going the long way around. James Taylor again defending. Scored the penalty that gave them breathing room. Davenport, awkward one for McEleney. There comes the cross. Connolly's forward. Brennan wins another big header. Sent away by Foley. At least 5 to be added on. Doesn't look like it will be enough for Derry.
He's going down in the box. Connolly and Riley came together, but Brennan in a lot of trouble here. Cramped. Not sure where that Maher is stopping the game from. Derry City don't seem to have much objection to it.
What a game he's had, Ryan Brennan. He'll turn 33 tomorrow. He has led this team. Battle scarred, battered and bruised, but not beaten. He's going to be taken off here. As, I think the Drogheda fans agreeing with your assessment of man of the match. Here are the goals.
The goal again. When that delivery from Shane Farrell, we spoke about at half-time, even before that. Connolly just gets himself totally ball watching, and the finish of Quinn is exceptional. This is the penalty. Kane, all about aggression, getting himself into an area to be fouled. He's got a lot to do here, Douglas James Taylor. A lot of pressure in front of the Derry City fans. Maher goes the wrong way, and he just slaps it in the right corner, and goalkeeper celebrates.
And look at this, what a substitute to bring on. It's the club captain Gary Deegan, 37 years young. Missed out on that 07 Cup final with Longford through suspension. Won the double, including the FAI Cup against Derry in a shootout in 08 with Boyce. You get whatever remains of this one.
Kevin Doherty's absolutely furious down on the line here. He's trying to make a change. Des goes down to 10 men, drawn it.
Ryan Brennan being replaced by number 8, Gary Deegan.
Came back home to Shelburne after a notable career. Cross-channel Gary Deegan. He was there as a youngster at Shelburne when you were in that midfield as well, wasn't he?
I remember him well. Wonderful player, wonderful attitude, and attitude for me has just epitomised this Drogheda performance just through and through. Every man, very difficult to pick player to match, but to a man they have been exceptional, a lot of them.
In by Patching, and again it's Drogheda who win the header, that time Adam Foley. Booming ball from Patching again, Bolger backpedaling. And he did enough against Connolly to deny him an angle to head it back across.
Just little things like that have been the difference from Drogheda's point of view. Just not giving your man an inch. Always making a nuisance of yourself. Proper defending the way it should be done. And you consider that manager was an excellent defender himself. No coincidence that Drogheda United have just been relentless in how they've gone about this game.
As mentioned at the outset, Kevin Doherty was sitting watching this one last season in front of that record crowd, enviously sitting watching, thinking I would love to be there on an occasion like this. He is here. He's very close to getting his hands on the trophy. Punched away by Dennison. "90 seconds as McEleney puts it in again. Duffy keeps it alive. Ahui gets a block in it. And another Derry corner.
Yeah, it's got to go to stop the cross as much as they possibly can. Drogheda just scurrying themselves back into the box here, just protecting their goalkeeper.
Dennison can't come and get that one, and it was a chance at the back post.
Substitute as well. Connolly. There's a hell of a chance with this. I mean, he's got a free header at this, just head it back and goal. Just gets under it completely, doesn't he? Just really epitomises Derry, really. Nothing has happened for them at all today, and everything has gone the way of Drogheda because they've made it happen for themselves.
This is going to be a really, really difficult off-season for Derry and their fans to deal with. But for Drogheda, it doesn't end today, of course. Tala next Saturday. Promotion relegation playoff. And a second job to be done. Here is Markey. Slips in Foley. Last-ditch defending from Adam O'Reilly, denying Drogheda a third. Almost at those extra 5. Duffy and Diallo. Whelan, hands on the back on Bolger, and Bolger punches the air into light. What an unusual career path he's taken. James Bolger, the Roscommon man at the age of 23. He's been stateside, he's been in Sweden, landed mid-season. A towering performance from him in that back three as well today. Kevin Doherty knows they're there. Rob Harvey has the whistle in his mouth. Still a few seconds to go. Flicked on by Robertson. Deegan gets his touch.
They have to give huge credit to Drogheda. There's Kevin Doherty, Kane here, the underdogs. Everyone made a point of it, but they have been exceptional and fully deserving of what they're about to get.
And that is it. It is all over. In this all-or-nothing 7-day period, Drogheda United deliver, and deliver big. Just a second FAI Cup success in the club's history. And with it, of course, European football secured for next season. 19 years on from that 0-5 triumph under Paul Doolan. Kevin Doherty will be bringing the cup back to Boyneside. And what a reception will await them there. Real momentum now to bring into that playoff against Bray next weekend. That will be another huge game to finish the year with, but I fancy a night off to celebrate before back to work. Big moments in the season. It's hard to look beyond that summer transfer window that brought in 5 players who are to become regular starters and starters today. 5 players who made a huge impact for Derry City. A devastating end to the campaign, a league title that slipped away, and now a cup final defeat for a club that at the start of the year held so much ambition.
And I'm just looking down at Kevin Doherty below me, hugging his wife. A wonderful scene, I have to say. Know Kevin well, played under Shelbourne, an absolutely fantastic football man. Nobody deserves this more than him. But I mean, this is the cup, the romanticism of the cup, but this is what it's all about. The fact Drogheda United had no right to go and win this game, Des, but they did, because there was sheer will and aggression and wanting it more than the other team. And that teaches probably the greatest lesson you'll ever learn in football. If you want it, you can go and get it. And they are fully deserving of this trophy. Absolutely fantastic.
And some incredible individual stories as you pick through this team. One of them is Elisha Ahui. He is the man of the match, and he is down pitch side with Tony O'Donoghue.
Thanks very much indeed, Des, and Sharon Lancaster from Sports Direct is here to present Elisha with his Man of the Match award. You've got a big trophy to lift in a moment, but to have that one, a Man of the Match in an Irish Cup final, how does it feel?
Yeah, I know it feels amazing, but just like trying to do the best I can on the pitch and just help the team as much as I can. So I think the whole team deserves it more than me, you know what I mean? Everyone together.
It was so well deserved. You were clear underdogs coming into this final, but you didn't play like that.
Yeah, I know. I think because everyone thought we were underdogs, so the pressure wasn't really on us. So we could just fight. The pressure's more on them, and we just kept doing what we have been doing since like July, and just try to keep winning. Yeah.
super overall team performance, as you say, but your performance in particular. You were up against Michael Duffy, probably the best winger in this league, and you had him in your pocket.
Yeah, well, I was just doing my best to try to keep him quiet the whole game. He did me a couple of times, but most of the game I had him in my pocket, as you said.
Had you studied him in particular? Obviously you've played Derry before. In fact, you scored up in Derry, didn't you?
Yeah, and because I've seen him play many times. I know he likes to cut on his right, so I wanted to keep him out wide as much as possible. Yeah.
What will this mean for Drogheda United? You can see the support that you got here today is extraordinary.
Yeah, no, I think the whole city's just going to be happy. That's all we wanted, really. So that's, yeah.
And from your own personal point of view, you're a Lincoln player. You actually got man of the match as well against Newcastle recently, didn't you? What's the future for Alicia and you?
I don't know. I'm just taking the moment as it is. I don't know what's happening next, but yeah.
Well, listen, congratulations. A player of the match in an FAI Cup final. What a fantastic story. Well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations to Alicia Ahui, man of the match here in the 2024 FAI Cup final, and congratulations to Drogheda United Football Club. Ahui's performance epitomised really what Drogheda United were all about today. They showed absolute magnificent desire to go and win only their second ever FAI Cup. Graham, a magical moment for Drogheda Football Club.
Yeah, it is. It really is for Kevin Doherty, for Darragh Doyle, for all these players. I said before the game, could they be selfless in their performance? And every one of them put in a performance in their own area. And if someone slipped or if somebody was struggling, the next player went in and helped. To a man, they were brilliant. They outfought there. They moved the ball better than them, and they took their chances. And both teams got what they deserved today. Drogheda more so. They deserved to win.
Alan, it just goes to show, I mean, there were a lot of references made to league position in the build-up to the match, and indeed, you know, the season both clubs have had, but Derry's inconsistent form came back to haunt them today. Drogheda turned up for this final in a very big way.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was my feeling coming into it, Peter. The run of form that Derry were on was so poor towards the end of the season, and then in the manner in which they lost the league, psychologically it would have to have impacted them, and I think we've seen that today, because the performance, it's kind of indicative of what we've seen over the last number of weeks from Derry, whereas Drogheda had the momentum coming into it. Kevin was very relaxed before the match when we were chatting to him, and the players, as Graham says, every one of them to a man done their job, carried out the game plan. And Peter, all it was, and sometimes all it is in football, people want to bombard you now with tactics and analysis, a bit of hard work and a bit of fight and a bit of desire, and every single one of them showed that today, and I'm so happy for Kevin Doherty.
I know you're. He's a good pal of yours as well as everything else. And what was obvious almost from the outset, Gareth, was that Drogheda United settled very quickly into this cup final. And we mentioned the early chances that they had and possibly the impact that had on the players. But they did look right at home here at the Aviva today, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it beforehand. Not being here, not having experienced it, a lot of the players, they looked as if they were playing here every week. They looked relaxed. They looked at it. They looked technically good. They were nice and high. They were not afraid. But they did not put enough pressure on them. The tempo wasn't there, the aggression, there was no press. The Derry City players have let the city down tonight. They've let the manager down and they've let the chairman down, and it's not good enough. You can have all the technical ability in the world if you want, but if you haven't got the heart to go and do something and the need to go and do something, then you're not going to achieve it, and they need to be a damn ashamed of themselves.
Yes, and in the immediate aftermath of a defeat like that for Derry City, Graham, and if you could stay with us, I don't mind Alan running away for a while, but you can stay with us. You know, some of the players, the Derry City players, will have to look at themselves, and it could be a time for significant change at Derry City in terms of their playing personnel.
I think it will. I think it's going to be massive changes at the club. First of all, the club needs to sort itself out. They haven't got a training base for these players, so if the players do move on and they're trying to bring in new players, how are they going to attract them to Derry? I don't know how they do that without the right infrastructure around it, because more players, the top players, are demanding that they have a good training facility training, they have a good gym to work in. But again, they had a chance to rectify what happened in the league today. They had a chance to go and rectify that and put down a marker and say, we're going to win the cup twice in 3 years and we're going to get into Europe, and they didn't do it today. That's the bit that would have let Rory Higgins down, is that they didn't go and seize the opportunity that was still presented to them today in the FAI Cup.
Yeah, you have to feel sorry for Rory Higgins on a day like this, because I'm sure the preparation was as good as it could have been. But on the day, Alan, you know, the players really have to want it, and they didn't seem to want it as certainly as much as the Drogheda United players want.
And that's the point, Peter. Sometimes it just boils down to that, a bit of desire and a bit of want and a bit of fight. And I keep referencing the fact that the whimper in terms of losing the league was huge. As the phrase, as someone says to me, Peter, you're a two-horse race, you finish fourth. Like, that was a massive, massive blow to Rory and Derry, and then the players obviously coming in. But then, as Graham said, they had the chance to rectify it today. A huge opportunity to get yourself into Europe. And not only Rory will take the brunt of this and the responsibility. The players have to look at themselves as well, yeah. Peter. They've let him down all season. You have Mark Connolly at the back post there, supposed to be your stalwart defender, your leader on the pitch. And he lets Andy Quinn ghost in behind him, and all of a sudden you're 1-0 down. That can't happen. So as much as Rory will take a lot of stick, a lot of criticism, and rightly so to a degree, I think the players let him down massively as well, Peter.
OK, well, as you can see, the Drogheda United players now making their way towards the presentation area. So the FAI Cup is about to be presented to Drogheda United. Let's rejoin Des and Stuart.
Yeah, they came here last Sunday to get their bearings, to familiarise themselves with their surroundings. They were on the outskirts of the pitch, they were in the dressing rooms, they did the walkout. Not quite sure they climbed the steps though, you wouldn't want to be tempting fate, but they get to do it for real today. And some incredible, as we said, individual stories. Pierrot, who lit it up with Athlone in his first season in Ireland last year and delivered in the top flight. Luke Dennison sat on the bench for Bohemians as they were beaten last season. Ryan Brennan didn't score in this one, but that won't matter. He's won this one. He didn't win the one he scored in. But right from back to front, what an effort they put in today. Connor Kane would have been in the running, I'm sure, for the player of the match as well. The way he has resurrected his season after that injury, his career after that injury, it was a long road back. James Bolger, we didn't really know of him until his summer arrival. But 2-0, a scoreline in cup finals they like. It was that in 05 when they beat Cork City. And that 05 team under Paul Doolan, big players. Graham Gartland down below, Damien Lynch, Stephen Gray, Simon Webb, Shane Robertson, Stephen Bradley, the current Rovers manager, Fabio O'Brien, Paul Keegan, they were all there. And of course European football to come back as well next season. So here we go, Gary Deegan and Ryan Brennan raise the cup aloft. What a day for Drogheda United, for the second time in their history and the first time in 19 years they are the FAI Cup winners.
Oh, well, a picture tells 1,000 words. I mean, to look at the faces of those players, they know the effort they put into this game. They knew they were up against it, they were the underdogs. No one really gave them a chance, but didn't listen to the noise, and with their manager, the group just has done something extremely special, and a wonderful day for sports, a wonderful day for the underdogs, and credit to Drogheda United, well done.
And we'll echo the thoughts of Graham Gartland pre-game by mentioning Vincent Ahui here, who did a lot for the club when they were in difficulty. And a nod to the under-20s. They won the league title as well for the first time. It is turning into a very good year for Drogheda, but one more job to do next week. We'll take a break and assess all that went on at the Aviva Stadium here when we return.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
Can the boys in green finish the year on a high?
And Everselli backs himself, nonchalant crosses, opportunity! Wonderful goal for Robbie Brady!
Thursday at 7 on RTE2 and RTE Player.
Welcome one and all to Flash Hole in the Head in 2024.
We're here in beautiful Wexford town, famous for its sunshine, for its strawberries, and today, though, it's music.
So let the flat festivities begin.
Friday at 8:30 on RTE1 and RTE Player.
Just keep showing up. You won't regret it.
Yep. Well, did you hear the big guys out? So our man is in.
Congrats.
And they've called in cover from the provinces. Hello?
Hello?
Woo!
See ya.
So?
That's had a knock-on effect on the clubs. First are taken from seconds, seconds are taken from thirds, and thirds from fourths.
And
the fourths are taking you out of retirement.
Bank of Ireland, proud sponsor of Irish rugby.
L is for the... O is for the only one I see. V is very, very extraordinary. E is even more.
This Sky Black Friday, spend less and do more. With 1 gig Sky Broadband, Sky Stream and Netflix for €49 a month. 1 gig lets you game, stream and go full speed. And watch unmissable shows.
Can you imagine to be remembered like that?
On Sky.
You like that? Yeah. Didn't tell me how you like that.
And Netflix. All for just €49 a month. Our lowest ever price. Search Sky Black Friday.
Ever crave a barbecue over lunch while you're stuck in a meeting? So you lit one? Bad idea. Ever crave a Whopper in a meeting and ordered one? Excellent idea. The Whopper. 100% flame-grilled Irish beef, crispy lettuce, fresh tomato and fluffier buns. The Whopper. Never tasted so good.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone.
Hybrid. Plug-in hybrid. Electric. Don't get confused. Get excited at the Toyota Power of Choice event. From our unrivaled hybrid range with no plugging in, to plug-in hybrids, to the fully electric BZ4X, we've got the right choice for you, with great offers and flexible payment options. Make the move at the Power of Choice, November 1st to 9th at Toyota dealerships nationwide. Toyota, built for a better world.
Welcome to Outsurance, where you could save money on your car insurance. Like Gemma, who saved €143 when she switched her car insurance.
Call Outsurance today. Real people, unreal savings. Outsurance, you always get something out.
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.
Well, it's been another magnificent Cup final day at the Aviva Stadium on Lansdowne Road, and it is time for Drogheda United to celebrate and cherish these very special moments. For only the second time in their club history, they are lifting the FAI Cup, and there is a proud manager, Kevin Doherty, who's now about to join us at our presentation position. And Kevin Doherty has got to be extremely happy with the performance of each and every one of those players. We certainly gave it all for their football club this afternoon, and they run out deserving winners of this 2024 Sports Direct Cup final. As I said, Kevin has just joined us, and Kevin, many, many congratulations. Congratulations once again. I know you can't hear a word I'm saying. But the point I was making, Kevin, while we were looking at those great celebratory pictures, was you have to be so proud of every single one of your players, because I know as matches go through, I put asterisks beside players who contribute something meaningful to the game, and your players received an awful lot of asterisks today. They did extremely well for you. Yeah, look, how would you not be proud of that? You probably see faces all right, it's not too bad, but I'm still, like, I told them before the game how proud about it, regardless of the result, because we were through such a tough couple of months under summer, and people were writing us off for everything. Now, this is going to be the most boring answer after a cup final win, but we have a playoff to win next week. Yeah. So, that's why we're all staying. Worry about it next week. We'll enjoy it tonight 100%, because we've won the FAI Cup for only the second or
second time in the club's history, which is unbelievable. I was saying to Carter, might be a new thing next year.
There was over that side.
Very good, but it was. I'm so proud, and like even to get lads on the pitch, like even Gary Deegan, the Gary Deegans, the Luke Heeneys, the Adam Foleys, Brian Brennan, have been with me from the start. Connor Kane, he left to come back, had a bad injury. Again, some of the stuff, Shane Farrell in tears there. The last time he was on this pitch, he came off at half time, and to be fair, he's been amazing for us. Connor Kane missed out that day.
Yeah.
A goalkeeper, look, Luke Dennison, excellent. I thought it's going to sound like I'm patting myself in the back, but I thought the game plan worked really well, and that's why probably I said before the game we went with the same team that played the game that you were at in our place, and I had a feeling if we were at it would work.
Yeah, you weren't going to divulge the exact game plan when we spoke to you before the match, but what exactly had you in mind for the game today, tactically?
Again, it's just shape, and I don't mean the actual formation. I mean plug and hold, don't let them Derry. Like you see the player, the McEleney's, the Duffys. Yeah. Like we did a lot of work on Duffy before in his duels, and when we looked at the stats, Alicia had done the best job on him in the whole league. So again, that was really important. But they're so good players. You can have one plan and then something else happen. But everyone had to stand up. Lads at the end, Webster wasn't even playing a lot of time in the first division last year with Bray. So the players, have carried out. All go in with plans and tactics and shapes and all. But the players have to carry it out, and they were magnificent. And the platform, again, was the two lads up front, and where it caused them a lot of trouble.
The word that comes to mind right throughout that performance today, Kevin, was desire. There was no doubt. It was very, very evident the desire that was in every one of those players. And I thought somebody like Ryan Brennan really epitomised the desire, because he defended, he attacked, he did everything that you could have asked him to do. And he's one of your more senior players.
Absolutely.
He had to lead by example.
Oh, he's amazing. And again, even then, he actually picks up a booking, and Patrick McEleney's all right. I haven't seen him. And he's still clever enough not to do anything stupid. I mean, because it's very easy to mistime something here. And Ryan, as I said, another one of the lads have been with me from the start, and just the pleasure that this brings. Look, and even the noise. And I knew, again, it's easy for a manager to come on and say our fans are bright and all this, and I might get you to tweet something about it. But I came in here today before the game, and this place was covered in all the stuff, and there wasn't anything down the far end. And I'm not go with Derry, a real massive club, and I love Derry, but it just shows that the effort our supporters have gone to. Like when lads are putting their bodies on the line for the last whatever, and they start going, it's amazing. It's a great. I'm so happy.
And of course, you must be quite pleased as well that you've qualified for Europe now.
I know, I sort of forgot about that.
Kev, the cup. You mentioned the fans. For the last 3 weeks, you've been everywhere. You've been in all the schools, you've been in all the clubs, and they've backed you because you went out and visited them and backed them, and the players delivered because of that. So again, you're putting stuff back into the community, and it comes back here in your support today. It was magnificent from everybody.
No, you're right, and it was something that we really said we do. And again, realistically, because of the way we were set for 3 weeks to go, we didn't have you can have lads going to schools, myself included, and the players and all that type of stuff, because yes, we had a game against Shelbourne and we had a game against Dundalk, but it didn't have to be mentally taxing.
Wasn't overly distracting.
No, but I said the lads did well in the game, but we were able to do that. But even as I said, and the reason it's so good here for people here today is because when I came into this club with Tim, and it was the first division, and Tim got us promoted, and to be doing what the lads have been doing and for the last few years, I mean, you only have to look what's around us.
This year, as the only part-time team in it, it's an unbelievable achievement. It really is, Kevin. Honestly.
I know. I'm absolutely. As I said, I'm delighted. It is. We do have we're coming up against literally every other team. Is whatever has a lot more. But we're lucky with as I said, with Drogheda coming in. They've been brilliant with us, absolutely brilliant. But in improving things, but that'll gradually, and things like today will certainly help. But improving gradually, and lads, we couldn't sign a player really from outside the country. Doing it. I think Sean Rona's here. We had Freddie Draper was living in his granny's last year, but now we have, we're just doing things that clubs, professional football club, do now.
Normally, I'm here on this panel most weeks and have to remain impartial. I've never been happier in all my life.
Sure, look, again, I would have gone, and you know what? Even when, obviously, I'd say I've seen the semi-final, the two boys having a go.
I'm going on the European trip.
Hey, yeah. You never know, it might be a long one.
For the European trip.
I know he's doing a bit of coaching now as well.
What?
He's trying to get involved.
Don't let it out of the bag, yeah.
Well, look, even when the message he sent me this morning was my dad's memorial card, and that's why, and even now, Jesus, I am an emotional fella at the best of times, but
can't be emotional now, Kev.
No, I know, yeah. It's just like having my family here, my mum.
You'd be a proud man today.
Dad and
well, Kevin, let's give you something that you'll really enjoy now, and that's a look back at the goals from this afternoon's. And first of all, Andrew Quinn's finish was fantastic, but the delivery of the ball made the goal, didn't it?
Again, that's what I talk about Shane Farrell. Like, you know, that's what he brings. Like, he's so much energy. He's such a lot of time when we signed him, we were thinking we might play in the right or as the 10. But I really thought in this game it was so important to have a 6, an 8, and a 10. But there, Connor, Kane, you talk those two players that I mentioned. I had a nightmare here 2 years ago. It's just like it's so good. And Dougie, first one he's done all year, he's gone the other side. So Brian Maher's obviously done his homework.
Even in terms of the game plan, Kevin, we spoke and Peter asked the question beforehand, and the narrative, the big pitch and all, every one of them, the two lads you played in the middle, Markey and Shane Farrell, the running, the energy, every one of them, Ryan obviously doing all his work, the two lads on the wings, Alicia was absolutely unbelievable, every one of them, absolutely, and we're even saying, Peter, we're chatting here about tactics and analysis and all this stuff, just pure raw work, hard work.
But look, it's how many times I probably alluded to it, but you don't want to sound like a smart arse. It's only after the game, but it's very lazy to say about the pitch. Like, and the pitch is big. It's not like our players can't play.
Or can't
run. Markeys or can't run. Yeah. Like the whole whatever part time and all that. We've a lot of lads that aren't working now as well. We're getting closer, but like our lads are really. I would Darren Markey absolutely love a big pitch or a Shane Farrell or whoever else. And look, we had to manage it, but thankfully we did.
Kevin, listen, we'll let you go and enjoy some of the celebrations. We'd like to keep you here for the duration, but listen,
they're all gone anyway. So no, thanks a million.
Not at all. Congratulations once again. Thank you. Congratulations to Kevin. Okay, we can join Tony now because he's speaking to the Drogheda United captain and one of their heroes on the day, Ryan Brennan.
Ryan Brennan, congratulations. We spoke about it during the week. You were able to have your children here to watch an unbelievable triumph for Drogheda.
I don't know what to say, Tony. Dreamland. We were up against it for large periods. Scored that clinical moment in the game. Get us to the half was the 5 or 6 minutes towards the end of half time. Just massive for this town, for the lads. We had the bollock and bite, and we got there in the end under a brilliant Derry side that just pushed us right to the end, and it shows the characters and the warriors we have in that dressing room. We said all along, we don't fear anyone. We've got big hearts, and we're lucky to come out the other side of that. It was just a fantastic moment, fantastic.
You talk about warriors. You spent most of the game with a big bandage around your head. Every tackle mattered, every challenge mattered, and you proved that from the get-go.
Yeah, blood, sweat and tears there from myself, Tony, today. Hope McEleney's all right. Thought I was entitled to go for the ball. It looked like a nasty one, obviously, but we were dedicated to the cause, both lads. So, look, as I said, brilliant for us. Come out the other side of it against a brilliant Derry team that were so close in many respects in a league campaign and a cup campaign.
Is there training tomorrow like you promised? You've got a big game next weekend as well.
I don't know. I'll probably have a word with Alan Cawley in the studio. I'll be having a beer anyway, I know that for sure.
Well, listen, it was well deserved. A brilliant performance. Congratulations. Well done.
Thanks very much, Tony. Cheers.
Yeah, congratulations to Ryan Brennan. Have you even greater influence on this Drogheda team than we actually know? But like, he was a hero on the day, wasn't he? But I was just trying to think, like it was a day when every single one of the Drogheda players turned up. Every single one of them.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do on the big days and the big occasions, Peter. You have to turn up. Every one of them, they would have known they were underdogs, but I think that would have even driven them on even more. And I mentioned even before the match about the fact that these days don't come along too often. The likes of Dave Webster, soldier in the league for 17 years, and you look at him there at the end, and he's the big marauding run up the line in the 80th minute and all, and then he's hobbling back. But that's what you need to do, put your bodies on the line on the big days. Every single one of them done that, and ultimately it all came together for them, because if you have everybody doing their little bit in their own little departments, their own jobs, it all comes together, and that's exactly, everything came together for them.
Okay guys, we got to get to some of the key moments from that second half, and first of all the question has to be asked, was it a penalty?
I think it was.
I think it was.
I don't think it was.
Did you think the one in the Brandywell was a penalty as well?
This is outside the box. You can clearly see, you won't see it from this angle, maybe not from this angle, but he's outside the box. His foot is planted outside the box. The referee's actually in a good position. Now, you'll see it here. This is the one. So you actually see his plant. So the contact is outside the box.
We're on the line is in the box.
When you're on the line, it's in the box, but
yeah,
the contact is outside the box. But listen, I'm going to say this now. I don't think this matters. Derry didn't do enough to get back into the game. I don't think Derry even score a goal. No, that's just icing on the cake for me.
Okay, Graham, we were talking about defending before the game, and certainly Drogheda's defending this afternoon was magnificent, and we saw Ahui getting man of the match, and deservedly so.
Oh, unbelievable, and he's 1v1 duels, he was talking about it. He never left. Anytime he went to ground, he knew he was certain he was going to win it. I touched on it before the game about the recovery pace. It didn't really come into play because of how tight they were and the areas they covered with each other. They all slid across really well. But what they did do was throw their bodies in the way. We were brave in the headers. You see them here compete again. It's Ryan Brennan who has a head bandage on after a head knock. Dennison then gets help as well. They were, to a man defensively, they were excellent.
But Graham, you're talking about recovery pace. Derry never played at any tempo.
Correct.
They get that in behind them. They weren't. The runners weren't. They had to get on 2v1 positions in the fullbacks, and the two fullbacks were unbelievable. Kane could have easily got man of the match as well.
And Gareth, we did say that Derry City supporters at half-time would take some sort of hope from the fact that they did test Luke Dennison a couple of times in the first half, but in the second half they created little or nothing. I think there was just one cross that Mark Connolly didn't quite get on the end of, but there was very little from them.
And that's the struggle, the thing we're struggling with, and that's half a chance. It's great movement by Mullen, but like Mullen was taken off. Mullen was feeding on scraps. It's a good ball, but there's no movement in the middle of the park. This is all kind of speculative stuff. The first half it was a good game. Derry were getting in behind. They were playing with a wee bit of confidence. That's an unbelievable ball into the box. How is a striker not getting under the box? What did they think Michael Duffy was going to do when he pulled it under his right hand foot?
A big blow as well. McEleney going off.
Huge.
And Garrett mentioned at half time he was beginning to grab hold of the game, create a couple of chances. That's a massive blow. But sometimes I think they're so reliant on a Patrick or on a Michael Duffy, and that's when you need other lads to step up as well, Peter. And I don't think that happens enough with Derry.
Well, you think about it, right? Last year, or the year before, it was all about a striker. They got Pat Hoban in. They kind of changed their game. They lost a lot of pace with McJanet and Graydon, and they couldn't get the ball up to him enough. The whole dynamics just wasn't there.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about the trials and that the League of Ireland managers in general have to face, in that the personnel change quite regularly, and not one of the goal scorers from Derry City's winning team from 2 years ago, I should say, were here today. So they were missing that potency in attack, definitely, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. You could see it. We talked about the defence, the weaknesses in Drogheda. Everybody knew about it. I don't think Bolger was put in behind at all. He never had to use his recovery pace. They were very comfortable, and everything was passive in front of Drogheda. We talked about it in the front. It was Ryan Brennan's job to make sure everything was in front of him, and he did just that. Markey was a brave decision. Markey was outstanding. Nipping balls and everything was in front. But once you're passive like that, it's easy to defend. You asked the 5 defenders. That was probably one of the easiest games. They were never put up under serious pressure.
No, they weren't, and we're going to show a passage of play now, Alan, where I suppose it sort of demonstrates that certainly nothing was going right for Derry City, but also that Drogheda, when the questions were asked, they had the answers.
Yeah, absolutely, and this sums it up, Peter. This is when Derry were pushing on a little bit of urgency towards the end. This is the latter stages of the game. But again, you look, that's Markey coming out, then there's another lad coming out, Adam Foley, the substitute, then Quinn's on the edge. There's 3, 4, 5 of them. Taylor is back on the edge of the box. This is Luke Heeney, the substitute. He comes on, an unbelievable tackle as well. Goalkeeper grabs it, and you can almost see and you can feel amongst them all, look, they're almost celebrating the tackles and the defending. That's when they had the game won. They were 2-0 up at that stage, Peter. Derry did show a little bit towards the end, but not much, and nowhere near getting back into the game. But that little passage there just summed up the whole day from start to finish. Kevin's on about plugging holes, and that's just your distances between each player in terms of once they got in behind Bolger when he never came across with Connor Kane, once in the first. Other than that, as Gareth said, everything's in front of them, plugging holes, hard work, pure desire, and when their chances came for the goal, brilliant set piece, get the goal, and then the penalty, Peter.
Yeah, we're going to reprise that first half goal once again, Graham. It could have been defended better though, couldn't it?
Oh, could have been, should have been. It's really poor defending from Connolly, it really is. He just switches off, and I don't know why he's running out. You got to get your right arm out there to feel him and know where he is. Quinn, he has one look and never re-looks again, and it's really, really poor defending. In fairness, he was really poor on the day. He let a lot of things bounce. He was lazy in terms of how he was going to cover McEleney, and that just sums it up, where he just switches off. Great delivery, great contact from Quinn, and fully deserved goal from Drogheda.
Certainly was. Some of the Drogheda players are coming out to greet some of their family members who are in the crowd here at the Aviva Stadium, still celebrating, needless to say. I was just thinking they've got a European football to look forward to next season, Alan. But of course they've got the playoff to try and remain in the Premier Division next Saturday. I just can't imagine how difficult it's going to be for them to get refocused for that, but they'll have to, because it's really important for the club now going into European football next season that they stay in the Premier Division.
Yeah, and they all said even in interviews before the match that it was an imperative that to keep their Premier Division status, and that absolutely is, Peter. But I think they'll enjoy tonight, and to be fair, even Kevin has already been prepping for next Saturday, so they'll be ready to go next Saturday. OK, right now we got to hear from the Derry City manager. Rory Higgins is now with Tony.
Thanks again, Peter, and Rory, commiserations. Can you explain, put your finger on what happened today?
No, listen, it was ultimately we had quite a bit of the ball throughout the game, but we didn't carve them open often enough. We didn't disrupt their structure. We did have two really good chances at 0-0 that in cup finals you need to take. They had very few chances, but when they got them, they took them and they punished us. But we've got to take one or two of those chances, and it's a different game. But listen, ultimately we had loads of possession, but didn't hurt the opposition enough, and we have to accept that. We have to accept that over the last 3-4 weeks that we haven't done the business when it's really mattered, and that's a tough one to take.
To get to this final, though, you hadn't conceded a goal, you played top teams, and yet that inconsistency came in the game you needed to win the most.
Absolutely. Again, there's no getting away from it. We 3-4 weeks ago, as I said, we had the opportunity to win 2 trophies, and ultimately we've come up short, and it's been a really disappointing end to the season, and we have to take it on the chin. I thought the travelling supporters were amazing. They stuck with us. They stuck with us right to the very end, and they've been brilliant. And it's them I really feel for. The commitment to get down here in huge numbers. And as you could imagine, it's a really difficult one to take. And
is it a big job to lift the team now for next season after the disappointment in both the league and the cup?
Well, it's clear. I think it needs a refresh. It needs a reboot. The squad, and I'm sure we'll all work hard to try and do that, and come back stronger. In these situations, you can either roll over or you can dig in and fight and scrap. And I think where we're from, the city that we're from, there's only one way we know.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Well, he's experienced the elation of winning the cup, both as a player and indeed as a manager, and now the other side of the coin for Rory Higgins, and you can really sense his deep disappointment at what happened today, because he'll be as aware of the performance as much as we are. And I was just thinking back to the team of 2 years ago. Arguably, he had a better squad at his disposal then, and it probably is time for a big change at Derry City in terms of playing personnel.
Yeah, absolutely. You heard him there. I mean, Rory will be hurting the most. He takes it to heart. He'll be really hurting. The players will be hurting, but there will be a reset. But there also was a bad environment going into that game. A lot of the players are out of contract. They should have been sorted out 6 months ago. So you've got players out there now playing the cup final, and they don't know where their next wages is coming from, paying mortgages. So from a club point of view, that should have been sorted. They should have been going in there all galvanised, looking forward to next year, but finishing on a high. So that did not help. There's no doubt about that, Peter.
No. Lads, we've got about a minute left in the programme. We got to finish by celebrating Drogheda United's victory. What will it mean now to Drogheda United going forward, Graham?
Massive. With Trevelyan Group coming in, they're looking at the infrastructure. They're trying to get a better training ground. They're trying to build on the stadium. They're trying to do all of them things, and this is massive for the club and for the area, because again, in 05 when you won it, you were on a crest of a wave. You were kept pushing the club. this time, if they put infrastructure behind it, they can really grow the club and the area, and I hope that they really invest in it and go after it.
OK, Alan, finally to you, now that you're a dyed-in-the-wool Drogheda United fan by the looks of things. What have you to say?
Well, look, Peter, it's a special day for Kevin. You know, it's not often that you see your best pal kind of manage the team to win the cup.
Yeah.
We would have played together, and then when you see over the years, you never would have imagined that he'd go on to do that, and I'm so happy for him. He's a good fella, he puts his heart and soul into it. Like all the managers, that was a tough watch there. Even Rory speaking after the match, he'll be absolutely heartbroken, but certainly for Drogheda United and for Kevin Doherty, it's his day.
Yeah, you're a happy man. OK, thanks to Gareth, Alan and to Graham for being with us on what has been another dramatic cup final day. They drained their reserves of desire and determination, and Drogheda's 17-year trophy drought is over. United, cup winners once more. Drogs, underdogs? I don't think so. Bye-bye.
We could be all we're looking for is love in the little light, love in the little light. We could be heroes. We could be heroes. Me and you. We could
SSE Airtricity, proud sponsors of League of Ireland coverage on RTE.